They did put a lot of money into the facilities there.
Because of Dabo.
Well, right, but they are in the ACC, which you would think is, I don't say easier. I hate when we do that, right? Because there's talent everywhere, and the talent is even getting more spread out now with NIL. So, but yeah, you are, maybe a little bit easier path if you're in the ACC as opposed to the SEC or maybe the Big Ten. And, I think that there is a possibility that everyone's kind of sick of each other, right? Because Dabo here is not giving an inch. He's basically standing up and telling the fan base and the administrators, you should be lucky to have me. You should feel lucky to have me. And, I'm going to go somewhere else and I'll ram it down your throat. It's kind of what he's saying. Like, I'll go somewhere else and make you look bad. These are like veiled threats that are happening in this press conference amidst him talking about joy and, his faith and all of that stuff. Like, that's a threat at the end. I'm not going to the beach. I'm going to go somewhere else, and presumably I could come back and kick your butt.
By the way, I know it sounds so funny. You're like, you think Dabo has a lifetime contract? That's how college football was for 80% of college football's existence. Like, nobody was going to ever fire Bobby Bowden or Joe Paterno or Tom Osborne. Like, yeah, I think Dabo would be a guy, like, if Clemson, if he wants to spend his career at Clemson, I would think that makes sense. Like, who are they going to bring in?
Well, it's not about that. I think that you can't really go back to the Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno days because college football is definitely beyond, long gone. But because there wasn't a college football playoff 12-team bracket that may go up to 16 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like Bowden and Paterno would have done even better if that was the case.
No, I'm saying that wasn't always the goal, though. Like, college football and the goal of college football has changed. It was always, for the very, very top programs to win a title, but it was weird how for many years, how they even determined who was playing in the championship game. People would get screwed out of it. There are times people would say, I'm the national champion. No, I'm the national champion. It's very different. Bowl games used to mean something back in the day. It's completely changed now where it's only about the college football playoff. That's it.
So that means you have to change coaches all the time? It's the same goal is to, for most of Bobby Bowden's time at Florida State, the goal was championship or bust.
But you could go to another bowl and everyone would be playing in it, not just getting ready for the NFL Combine. And
but they were miserable if they lost a game. Like, the whole fan base was miserable, but they still didn't move on. Like, if they had an 8-3 season and went to the Gator Bowl or whatever, like when they used to call bowls actual names, like nobody in Florida State was happy with that, but they weren't like, let's find a new coach. It is definitely a modern phenomenon that you have to. I think the transfer portal has leaked into the coaching idea. Like, Kalen DeBoer's 14 games in, everyone's like, who we get next?
I think it's everything sped up. And I'm thinking about Dabo Swinney, like, believe it or not, time is crazy. There are guys now that he's recruiting who were babies when he started there, right? Like, and you're getting now the last time, obviously they went to the college football playoff last year, but the last time they were in the championship game was 2019. Like, it's not. There are just shorter memories. And Dabo yesterday having to go through his resume line by line to remind people of the good old days kind of feels like if you have to do that and you have this status that you're talking about, Pro, where you're one of the best coaches in the country, you shouldn't have to go line by line through your resume. Like,
I think the one line in that soundbite that reminded me, what did he say? He's won 8 out of 10 times?
ACC titles.
I mean, that's pretty good.
I know. 7 out of 10 years being in the playoff. He says, find me an athletic director who, would, he said something like, find me an athletic director who wouldn't want that. It's like, clearly he's feeling the heat, not just from the fans and the super fans who call into radio shows.
I just can't
going
see
to the beach.
I can't see Clemson improving in the post-Dabo era. It's just a very competitive field right now. I mean, listen, in the ACC alone, you have Miami coming up. I hate to admit this because I don't want EJ to hear this. They look like a superpower this year.
Yep.
You have SMU is only going to get better. It feels like Duke and North Carolina all of a sudden want to spend money like crazy. We'll see if it's not working right now. But I feel like the ACC is just going to get harder and harder. It's not going to be like Dabo's prime time in the 2010s. So I don't know who the next coach is, but I can't imagine he's going to have an easy path to a national title. Like, again, I think it's a miracle that Dabo won 2 titles. If you told me in 1999 that Clemson was going to become a powerhouse, I'd be like, Clemson? You mean Clemson Tigers?
Yeah, but Pearl, like, he also had 2 quarterbacks that were, have gone on. Deshaun Watson, despite all the other stuff, was a phenomenal quarterback in the NFL, and Trevor Lawrence we'll see.
But I mean, to his credit, like he recruited all the other. He recruited DJU, number one recruit in the class, and they recruited Cade Klubnik by a mile, the number one recruit. So he's getting the top quarterbacks. So, nothing wrong with the process there.
So that's another interesting thing I was wondering about for Dabo. So DJU and Cade Klubnik, and let's say this season continues to kind of just be that kind of unimpressive, quite frankly, for Klubnik, considering what the expectations were. So now you would have had back-to-back quarterbacks that fell short with DJU and Cade Klubnik. And how does that impact things moving forward? So I know we're on in South Carolina, 888-710-4ISN. Yeah. Curious, should Dabo and Clemson just divorce? I mean, 18 years, it's not bad. Maybe it's time to go somewhere else.
What do you mean Cade Klubnik fell short, though? Because he was great last year. So he's had a good career. He's bad this year, but
expecting more. We're talking about this year. This is when Dabo's doing this. He's having to defend his record right now.
Right.
And do you see a big turnaround from them, by the way?
Well, last year I didn't see it either, and they got to the college football playoff with 3 losses. So I'm not totally counting them out. If they can get to that ACC title game, I'm not counting them out at all. I mean, it'd be kind of silly to after what happened last year. As long as they can get there. Now it's going to be. I think Miami's a bit of a problem for them. What do they play? That they play this year, right? Or am I imagining that?
EJ, Clemson on the schedule for you?
Or they play somebody.
No Clemson, Miami this year.
Who does Clemson has one really hard game coming up at some point this year? Maybe Notre Dame.
They have South Carolina as a. I think they. I don't know Notre Dame. But they have South Carolina as their annual game.
Yeah, their traditional rival.
Yeah. So no, I mean honestly, Maggie, let me answer this question. Do you think they have a better solution than Dabo Swinney? They have Florida State, by the way.
Yes, that's the next ranked game.
Yeah. Do you think who's next? Like, how do you take over for that program? I'm not sure it's an easy answer.
Listen,
I mean, look at Alabama. They struggled to find a guy to replace Saban. I think the same thing would happen there.
Day by day.
It's possible, but why do you think Dabo Swinney had to stand up there for 15 minutes going line by line? And again, this was not for Jeff in Myrtle Beach or whoever that caller was from those years ago who called out Dabo Swinney in the coaches show, and then I don't think he ever did that show again.
Because Dabo's been doing the version of this speech for 10 years. Even when they were winning titles, Dabo was doing this speech.
But he's talking to the administrators.
Yeah, he's been talking to everybody. This is pure Dabo. This is like, we've seen this exact speech before. He's like the most defensive coach of all time.
But if everything's going great, and you're feeling appreciated, and you feel like you're a legend on campus or whatever, and you're one of these Bobby Bowden, Joe Paterno types, and I know Paterno had a lot of other stuff at the end, totally understand that. But if you're one of the Bobby Bowden, the lifers, then why are you basically daring the administration to fire you? I mean, his buyout's insane, so I don't know, this is empty, but why are you standing up there and doing that at 1-2? You're supposed to be the steady ship.
Welcome to I heard Greg McElroy say this on ESPN yesterday. Welcome to the Dabo experience. This is
maybe
who
people
he
get
is.
Sick of it.
We all know who Dabo is. Maybe. I mean, obviously, the media, I think, has always had issues with Dabo for good reason, probably. But I don't know. I feel like Clemson, be careful what you wish for.
888-710-4ISN. Yes, EJ, take your Miami hat off.
Yeah, I'm taking it off. There's no blue and orange, no throwing up to you. My question, though, is is there any scenario where Dabo puts them back to where they're like where they were when they had Deshaun and those guys? Like,
they were the number 3 team in the country entering.
No, but I mean like when they actually get on the field. Being a paper champion is one thing. Like,
Clemson
used to really kick your ass when you played against them.
They had 11 of the 22 All ACC players had a tiger paw next to them on the list.
Like, it looked terrible. It was. I said on this show that was ridiculous. Remember,
but
I did
also,
say that.
Why do they look not? Why do they look? Why was Georgia Tech able to do that?
I think Dabo's strength has always been in his coordinators, and he lost Tony Ellett and he lost Venables, and I don't think he's ever recovered. Does it look like they? Do they look like they? The defense has been okay, I guess, but does the offense look like they've recovered?
They made the playoff last year.
That was a back in. Yeah. They had to win a game in a conference championship game where a team from Dallas had to go play in the cold. I don't put a lot of stock in that game. I don't.
And to be totally honest, like they actually looked okay against Ohio State, right? It was Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, they lost. Yeah, I couldn't remember which game they played in the first round. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Clemson, like, why would Clemson again be a national power? Like after he leaves, is anyone putting them in the top 5? Not at all.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So you got Dabo Swinney at the mic yesterday. Should they just get a divorce at this point? I don't know. Curious what you guys think about this. It's the time just basically run its course. Sometimes guys coach someplace for 30 years and sometimes they don't.
I mean, if you're at University of Florida, do you want Dabo Swinney?
Yes.
I would think so too. But it's interesting, right? Like he's never coached anywhere else. This is the only place he's had success. Does that success transfer over? Especially when he has this mindset that I don't take transfers.
Yeah, I would say I'm not sure Florida wants him. I mean, maybe they do, but like they need a whole new team, like ASAP. Like,
is he gonna accept a whole new team? Again, he doesn't. He barely.
That's what I mean. Like Dabo does not feel like a fit there because that feels like somebody's got to come in and do a Dion and say you're all cut.
Basically,
you guys come in, and that ain't gonna be Dabo.
Well, I mean, everyone always, basically pencils him into Alabama. You think that fan base is gonna go for a, light on transfers also if you feel like you have a chance to get somebody big?
I don't feel like, Dabo coming off a low doesn't feel like a great fit for Alabama either, right? That'd be a funny hire.
Well, let's see what happens with Kalen DeBoer. 888-710-4ISN. Look good against Wisconsin. We'll see. 888-710-4476. Let us know if you want to weigh in on college football, and we'll get to the Heisman. Perloff and I doing some early Heisman stuff in just a moment. Coming up, did the NFL kind of miss the mark here with Tom Brady? We'll get to that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie, I like to think that I know how Roger Goodell thinks, the NFL commissioner. Somebody in Park Avenue, whether it's Roger, did not like what happened during the Raiders-Chargers game.
Okay.
They were not happy that the broadcast showed Tom Brady wearing a tie in the coach's booth with a headset on.
Yep.
Because they, this offseason, tried to quietly make sure that Tom Brady, as the lead color analyst on Fox, could meet with teams before games. They kind of slid that in there in August. Because last year they said it's a conflict of interest. Now they have a visual. And once you have video, Maggie, the whole gig is blown.
Yeah, no one knows that more than the NFL.
I think everybody knows. Now no one is going to be able to forget. He's going to be doing a game on Fox. And people are going to be thinking, oh, that's a guy that was in the Raiders coaching staff. I don't know how many people actually watch that game because it was on so late at night on the East Coast. But I do think that was bad because now the visual is going to be associated with Tom Brady when he's trying to do games for Fox. And he's not even that good to start with. So the whole thing is getting way too messy. And Goodell's like, what the heck's going on here? I'm sure.
Yeah, the NFL had to put out a statement yesterday saying, and it was funny because part of the statement, and I'm sorry, I misspoke yesterday. He is not allowed to go to practice. He has to do the production calls, but he has to do them remotely. He's not allowed in someone else's building. No, he can, but he can still do the production calls.
Oh, I thought that was the change of rule that he's allowed to go to the building.
That's what I thought. And so this whole thing, it just underscores that you and I are in this in the nitty gritty every single day, and we were even unsure about it.
Was this one of the problems attacked at the conference?
Well, no, yesterday at the conference. Although I was there with Eric Shanks, I wasn't there with him, but he was one of the speakers there, who's the president of the head of Fox Sports. But anyway, and he did not comment on this. Like literally gave them a no comment.
Yeah, I saw that.
But here's the thing about it. I think there's a couple things here. I think if you're just a fan who loves football and just loves to sit on your couch on Sunday and watch the NFL and your fantasy team and all that, you probably don't care. But I do think there's a big slice of the football world that just has kind of no love for Tom Brady, even if you respect the hell out of him, and kind of has no love for the Raiders. You know, the Raiders are not exactly like lovable losers. They haven't had a lot of success in a long time, but they also have not taken on like oh, you know, I can't wait for the Raiders to be awesome again. Or the Raiders. I don't know why, but they don't occupy that space. So I think there's a little something about, you know, Tom Brady symbolizes to a lot of people, yes, excellence and championships and all that. But a lot of people didn't like how the Patriots went about their business. It always felt a little shady and a little underhanded and a little fast and loose with the rules. And now it's like a continuation of that. With, you're right, this visual of, oh my gosh, there's Tom Brady right behind Chip Kelly with a headset on. Like, wait a minute. I didn't know that he was going to be involved like that.
Yeah.
And so I think there's like a no love loss for Brady. And I don't think people have a lot of love unless you are a Raider fan.
Yeah.
And I know there's tons of Raider fans and they're coast to coast. It's not just in California and Vegas, but I don't think people like love them in that way. Mark Davis is kind of a doofus, or at least he appears that way. We've never met him, but like, I just don't think people are willing to give the Raiders the benefit of the doubt either.
See, I disagree with your first point. I do think people care about Tom Brady. I think most most casual fans are star driven. Like, that's why the Travis Kelce thing has taken off so much. Like, there are certain names that move the needle. Shedeur Sanders, Tom Brady, Travis Kelce, Caleb Williams.
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think people care about, Aaron Rodgers, a good one. I don't think people care about the procedural thing about an owner stuff, but Tom Brady gets a lot of eyeballs. So I do think people actually care about this story.
But he's not suiting up anymore. That's what
Yeah, but nobody cares. Like, I think it's fun to dunk on Tom Brady, and I think that goes way beyond. I think people are into that. And the Raiders, you're right, the Raiders are obviously they've been a laughingstock. They went from the John Gruden thing to Mark Davis with his haircut. Like, they definitely are they haven't won since 2001. So yeah, I don't think the Raiders are respected in that sense because they just haven't won lately. But yeah, I don't think this is any small deal. I think because Brady there's a reason Fox paid him $37 million a year, because casual fans are all about Tom Brady. Like, this is a big deal that he's their lead analyst. He's actually a much bigger deal than Tony Romo as a guy. Tony Romo was a good quarterback. Tom Brady's a GOAT.
Yeah.
So I think this is all headed somewhere for the NFL. I think this is going to be a pain in Roger Goodell's neck.
Interesting. 888-710-4ISN. I'd love to know from football fans. EJ, can we throw a poll up? Do you care if Tom Brady is working closely? I don't know. How do you want to do
doing
this?
Double duty as a broadcaster and a team executive.
Do you care about it? Because, again, I just think that these are two people who just not a lot of love lost. Like, if you don't like Brady and if you don't like the Patriots and how they went about their business, then you'd already maybe don't love Brady, even if you respect him. And then also for the Raiders, I don't think people are rushing to the defense of the Raiders, right? Like,
So you do people think people care?
Well, I think people like us care. I'm curious if you're somebody who just wants football as an escape from your life. Football is our life. This is our job. We watch this stuff and we are really into the nitty-gritty of salary caps and draft picks. And if you're just sitting on your couch, do you actually care about it? Do you just want to say, listen, leave me alone with this stuff. I don't care. Just let me watch the football.
I bet you care wins this poll decidedly.
You think so? Like what,
I
80-20 type thing?
I think it's a 60-40.
All right. You guys think the same?
I think so. I think it wins close. Yeah, you said 60-40? Yeah, somewhere around there.
I wish we had done this poll like 2 weeks ago, because I think people's opinions changed, or opinions were created by the video of him Monday night.
Kind of what I said. I think visual.
Something changed. Because, I mean, have you guys ever seen any other owner do that?
Well, you were saying we saw the Colts owner on the sideline.
Yeah, that Queen Carly
Irsay's
Gordon
daughter is wearing a headset.
On the sideline.
Yeah. I mean, Arthur Blank is famously on the sidelines. I don't know why he keeps doing that. It's
well, he's certainly very far from a headset.
No, I know, but you did that, and then your team blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history. You can never go to the field. Are you not superstitious? There's not even a little bit?
Yeah.
He's always on the sideline.
Jerry is the GM, I mean, but he doesn't even put on a headset.
Right, but he would be the guy that we would have seen already in a sea of polos and hats and Microsoft Surface and headsets, and then him in a suit in the last seat looking completely out of place, and he's never done that.
Well, he's doing this off vibes.
You know what the cherry on top was? Maggie pointed something out yesterday's show. Not only was he wearing a headset, he had the little speaker thing that went in front, so he could actually have
the
input.
microphone.
Yeah. So
coach's headset.
Yeah.
That is the visual.
So lame.
Like a talkback that's like, yo, Pete Carroll.
Right, he wasn't just listening.
TB here.
Yeah, now that there's video, this whole situation is headed towards some sort of conclusion. I don't think this is going to last. He's going to have to choose.
Except they basically wrote him a blank check yesterday.
The NFL?
The NFL completely defended him yesterday.
Okay, now if you're Tom Brady,
Shocker.
If you're Tom Brady, you do not let that happen again then, right? Like, you have to fade into the background and do it from a back room.
I mean, he did it yesterday when people were already at least a little bothered by this.
Well, how many times is he going to be able to do this? How many primetime games do the Raiders have?
Yeah, I went right to this.
He has a job.
So the Raiders they have the Broncos midseason on November 11th on Thursday Night Football. And then the following Monday, they have the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Those will be the only other two primetime games. Imagine if he pulls this against the Cowboys. The Broncos game's on the road. So I don't think he will go to the Broncos game. But imagine if he pulls this against the Cowboys at home.
Tom Brady seems to love the camera lately. I mean, he'll show up at the car dealership opening in Sheboygan.
Tom Brady, one of those wacky guys next to him.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady's
inflatable tube men.
Tom Brady cannot stay away from the camera right now. That Cowboys game is going to be tempting to him.
I was thinking about this when we were talking about, so Tom Brady was, obviously caught on camera Monday Night Football in the coach's box with a headset on, 10 feet away from Chip Kelly, and it kind of hit people a different way. And EJ, you said yesterday, basically, Tom Brady, pick a side. Either go to the ownership / front office or do the broadcasting, not this weird in the middle. You know what, or get off the pot, right? Like, pick a lane. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, well, I don't know if I want Tom Brady to go away necessarily, because we do get access to, like, Tom Brady's mind. And, in theory, being able to hear him expound on football is a good thing and should be enlightening for all of us. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, has Brady said anything interesting in all these podcast appearances and all these games that he's doing and weekly interview with Colin Cowherd, free shout out to them. And like, I can't remember, is there one nugget that he said where I was like, man, I would never have known that.
That thing about team building that he said at the conference, that was really interesting, about how quarterbacks aren't developed the right way anymore.
Yeah, basically just called out college football.
Yeah, that was, I think Tom Brady's really good, except when he's doing games. I think he's always very interesting. He's obviously very smart. The other thing, too, is like Fox has had an inconsistent approach. Like why he was on a 1 o'clock Giants Commanders game in week 1. I'm like, why is he doing that? Was his game, right? Or am I imagining that?
No, but it was because the late game was a CBS thing, so I don't think they ever put those two teams up against each other.
Yeah, you had to explain that to me like 3 times. Yeah. It does feel like, here's the weird thing for me. I watch a lot of Red Zone too. Tom Brady kind of sounds like every other broadcaster. Right, like he doesn't distinguish himself.
Fox doesn't have primetime games.
Yeah.
They have the 4 o'clock window, but they don't do night games except when they have the Super Bowl. So he's never really getting a standalone.
Yeah, but he didn't even do. Why would he not even do 2 good teams at week 1?
No, Brady was he was on Eagles Chiefs. He was
last week it was Eagles Chiefs, but week 1,
actually. Oh, I thought you were talking about
I just think that I also I don't understand when Romo and Brady do 1 o'clock games and then they just get in the mix. Like, and Brady feels like you're right, he does not stand out as a color analyst.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, do I want to, would my life be worse if Tom Brady goes to the front office and we never get to hear him comment on football again?
He should. That's what I want to see. I want to see him become a GM. I know John Spytek is a GM there. Like, I want to see him go all in on the Raiders and see what they can do, not be half in. Because he's doing nothing for me as a broadcaster.
And I'll be honest, I don't think it's good for the Raiders that he's half in.
How so?
I don't think you're getting the full Brady. I think if you really want to glean his knowledge and glean his idea on team building, he needs to be running the team. I don't think you could be, hey man, I know we haven't talked in a week, but like, what do you think of this? Even though the team that's been working on whatever transaction or player, they've been studying this, up and down. And Tom Brady, who's been working on getting ready for the Chiefs game or whatever, is like, oh, here's my opinion. To me, that somehow rattling the cages of what's going on in the Raiders front office, if I was a Raiders fan, I wouldn't feel good about that.
Well, we got the report from Peter Schrager that he's on the phone with Chip Kelly 2 to 3 times a week.
Which that actually would make me feel in a weird way better than what Pete Carroll was saying, which is he's like not really talking to them.
Well, Pete Carroll walked it back, but think about the people in your life that you talk to 2 to 3 times a week.
But think about how much energy goes into a game plan for Sunday. 2 to 3 conversations with Chip Kelly. That's more like what EJ described. That's like half in and half out. That's just like you're in here enough to make some noise, but you're not in here enough to really impact wins and losses. Like, I want to see him, unless Tom Brady is secretly all in, I want to see him all in.
Like, I assume Tom Brady, and I think we've heard this. I mean, he's a maniacal, study guy. Like, he knows exactly what the other team is going to do. He's, maybe not Peyton Manning in terms of the legacy of the preparation, but he's great when it comes to that. If he is doing just, I'm talking to you once or twice a week, or even 3 times, and Chip Kelly, in theory, is supposed to be watching and studying these guys 24/7, what are you going to learn from Tom Brady that's going to really help you? I would rather him just be on a coaching staff or as a general manager.
But let's get to Bogusch. Sorry, well, let's leave the conversation there. Sorry, Bogusch, but let's get to your update. I don't want to shortchange you like we did last hour. What do you got?
Your headlines are sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. A bigger dumper than usual. Does anybody know if Carson Wentz is also a running back? The Vikings have reportedly placed Aaron Jones on IR with a hamstring injury, so he'll miss at least 4 games. That's on top of J.J. McCarthy's multi-week absence thanks to that high ankle sprain. And
does anybody have any expectations for Minnesota anymore? Right? Like, we had some buzz about them before the year. Like, I saw the Aaron Jones and the J.J. McCarthy. Is it injury, quote unquote? Like, had you ever seen, like, nobody thinks the Vikings are going to do anything anymore, right? Or am I missing?
I mean, they still have a very good defense. They still get to face Jake Browning this weekend. That's, I guess, helpful.
Bogusch, you still think the J.J. McCarthy injury is a little fugazi?
Well, I mean, they have a time where he did twist his ankle in the game. It did feel when it first came out, like out of nowhere. Like a high ankle sprain that's a bad one. Usually that's a very visible thing, and a guy's like on the turf writhing around in pain. And so
limping off.
Yeah, so like when he finished the game and all of a sudden like, oh, hey, his ankle hurts. It almost felt like when a pitcher who's struggling all of a sudden has like shoulder fatigue.
Yeah.
And he gets a 15-day IL like reset. It almost felt like, oh, his ankle hurts. He's going to sit out for 2 weeks, which is not us benching him, but it's a chance for him to like maybe kind of get a grip on stuff.
You think something nefarious is going on?
Well, I mean, now that they at least have a timestamp on when he twisted his ankle.
I don't know. He's played 8 quarters and 7 of them have looked like crap.
Yes.
What else you got?
Right. They don't want to pull him and kill his confidence.
Right,
I totally agree.
There's Sean McVay as well, who sounds more like us than an elite athlete, getting hurt doing something fairly mundane. The Rams head coach tore his plantar fascia during Sunday's win over the Titans. It probably happened as he ran down the sideline to call a timeout.
Good news is I'm not playing, so I'm just on the sidelines watching. So if I have a little cool limp to add some swag, then you'll know why.
Okay. That's enough out of you.
This bothers you?
A little bit. Yeah. I don't know why, but that just made me cringe a little bit.
All right.
The Seattle Mariners keep winning, and the big dumper keeps dumping.
Here's the first pitch. Swung on, hit well, center field. It's going back. Isbell at the warning track, at the wall. He has done it! Home run, Cal Raleigh. He has tied Ken Griffey Jr. for the most in Seattle Mariners history. Number 56 for Cal Raleigh.
He had 2 home runs last night. The first one broke his tie with Mickey Mantle for the most in a season by a switch hitter. And as you heard, the second one tied Ken Griffey Jr.'s single-season team record. He also last night had teammate Dom Canzone hitting 3 homers in a 12-5 rout of the Royals. Seattle's win streak is 10, but the Astros held off the Rangers 6-5, so the Mariners' lead in the AL West remains a half game.
That makes a lot of sense. Cal Raleigh, Mickey Mantle, Ken Griffey Jr., those 3 names really go together.
I was we're watching one of the greatest baseball players in the history of the sport.
All synonyms.
Yeah. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver was at this front office sports conference yesterday. Maybe it was him that didn't want us to talk to Maggie anymore.
No, I missed it. I couldn't stay that late.
Silver, during his meeting, I don't know how to describe it, when he spoke to the panel, to the conference, he was asked about the European League that the NBA and FIBA are working on.
There you go.
He said a 2027 start would be, quote, ambitious, but any later than 2028 wouldn't be that good either. So this league is coming soon-ish.
Wait, so 27 is ambitious, but 28 is too late?
Yeah.
We better get it done by 27 because by 28 the world's going to end.
Exactly. The window closes.
Yeah, so what's in between 27 and 28?
27,
June of 27.
Yeah. The zombies, I don't know.
The Indiana Fever forcing a third and final game with the Dream with a 77-60 home win last night. That game 3 tomorrow night back in Atlanta. And something I didn't get to yesterday. This is Nebraska men's basketball coach Fred Hoiberg from 2 days ago. Press conference giving kind of a state of the team, and something happened.
What our facilities are, they're immaculate. And just how...
What happens when the prostate enlarges in the urine chest?
That's a dilemma. What was can you give me the answer on that?
So somebody, a media member's phone or a computer or whatever, played an ad for prostate medication.
It wasn't his. It was
not,
someone else's.
It was somebody else's device that accidentally had the sound up.
Is he the one who cursed?
He's the one that cursed.
Okay.
Yeah, he did curse.
The mayor.
The mayor.
That's a little revealing. That stinks for the beat guy or gal. Now, are your personal businesses out there? What are you looking
at? Gonna guess this is a man's
I think that
phone.
was a voicemail from a doctor saying that person. It was just he touched the wrong thing on Twitter.
I understand
and
that,
popped
but
up.
why did that individual get that ad? Because he was looking up, something about the prostate. Maybe there was a little something medical going on there.
Why do I pee so much at night?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's a stretch. You watch a Monday night game, they have about 4 prostate commercials.
Right, but
does that mean that you have
I don't
some
get
issues?
any prostate ads on YouTube or anything like that. I get ads for Monday Night Football.
It's not targeted to Manny because the tech companies know that he's in his 20s.
We're watching Murders in the Building on, and you should see they run ads, and it is. You've never seen ads targeted to older people in my life. It's like Murders in the Building, the Steve Martin show is like, this drug is for people who are between 93 and 99. It is amazing. I actually noted that the other day. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that was a disease. And there's a drug for it.
They're just making stuff up now just to cure it.
Very fun show, by the way. Selena Gomez, for you, Manny.
Oh, yeah. I'm familiar with her work. Big fan of her in Wizards of Waverly Place.
There you go.
Yeah. Kid show.
Old school.
Oh, yeah.
Bogusch, thank you very much. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. That's embarrassing. I'm trying to think of the most embarrassing ad that's ever popped up or something on any of my devices.
Don't look at the guys. Every guy's like hiding their phone. Yeah, like Maggie, I have a feeling that you do not know what could possibly pop up on a phone.
And you want to know what? I don't want to know.
My ads come out in Spanish sometimes. I love being here at work, and then all of a sudden I'll just hear an ad in Spanish, and I'll just, my second instinct just kicked in.
Is a woman moaning in Spanish sound different?
Well, yes.
888-710-4ISN. Enough of that. Let's get back to football. Top of the hour. It's Wednesday, which means we will do the great debate. This one coming to us from the college ranks today, but also a question about one Super Bowl contender. Do that next, MMP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Top of the hour. It's Wednesday, which means the great debate. Today we got something on tap for you from college football, so that will be a lot of fun. Pearl, obviously quarterback injuries are now a big storyline heading into week 3. None bigger than Joe Burrow, who's going to be out for weeks now with the turf toe. Now, we're a little split on this show about whether or not the Bengals were, as EJ said, old news, or whether they were still a contender. But bottom line, did the Bengals fail Joe Burrow here? We know he's a fantastic quarterback. They never really fixed their offensive line problems. And now, boom, here he is with another injury.
Yeah, I understand the argument, and it's probably valid. If the offensive line's so bad, how did he throw 43 touchdowns last year, 5,000 yards? Is it possible that he's just one of those injury-prone guys? I guess technically they did fail him, but it's a little bit on Burrow, too, to sort of avoid contact. I mean, we've all heard the Andrew Luck comparisons. Did the Colts fail Andrew Luck?
I think
it was both sides. Because Luck is injury prone.
Yeah, well, I think Luck was injured, was taking a lot of hits, couldn't protect himself, and I think Luck got hurt in the offseason also, like snowboarding, and that's not what Joe Burrow is up to here. I think Joe Burrow has to wear it in a different way. And I was critical of him this offseason when he was out front doing basically a media tour, trying to get his guys signed. Now, you could say that's a good thing, or maybe he's just doing it for show or what have you, but the organization listened to him. They spent a lot of money in Jamar Chase. Of course you're going to do that. But also T. Higgins, which was a little bit more of a dicey situation. They had dragged their feet on paying him.
So good, though.
For years. Of course he is.
Yeah.
But what does it buy you if you don't have enough invested in the offensive line and your defense is still so subpar, And,
well, I mean, but you look at their offensive line, like they have put resources here, like heavy resources. They've been trying. They drafted Amarius Mims, that gigantic Georgia left tackle. He's there. They paid Orlando Brown Jr., Ted Karras, Dalton Risner. Like, it's not. They've tried. Here's the other thing about it. Their defense is so bad that Joe Burrow thinks he needs to throw for 50 points every game.
Yeah, well, he actually did need to do that last year.
Yeah, and I think that's why he kind of hangs in the pocket and tries to make a lot of plays. So you can also blame the defense. Like, Burrow has so much pressure on him that he probably takes more hits than he should just to try to win every single game.
See, I don't fault him for, because what's he going to do? Like, you're in these shootouts because your defense can't get off the field.
Yeah.
Like, last year was, it was ridiculous. If they didn't score at least 37 points, like, there was no way for them to win. The one thing about Burrow, and this is maybe a little bit more global, we all know that he's an amazing quarterback. We can see the talent, and he's actually going to factor into our great debate coming up at the top of the hour. But considering he's now been a 2-time comeback player of the year, right? So if you had 2 seriously injured seasons, rookie year, obviously, where he only played 10 games, and then 2023, where he also only played 10 games. Now he played 2 games, and he's going to be out for at least 3 months, excuse me. Is he ever going to be healthy enough to be considered one of the all-time great quarterbacks, right? Like, is he going to end up having the body of work? I know we have to project a little bit out here.
Yeah.
But is he ever going to end up being healthy enough to be in the conversation where his talent would clearly put him?
No, I don't think he's going to be, like, we're talking, like, he could be Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, like,
definitely
4th, 5th, 6th all-time list.
I think so. I think he's that talented.
I do too. I do not think it's going to happen. I think it's, there's obviously going to be Carson Palmer comparisons at some point. Palmer eventually had enough at Cincinnati, demanded his way out of there around 30, 31. I think that's more likely than him ending up with an Aaron Rodgers 4 MVP kind of career. I mean,
but do you think it's if he's injury prone, does it matter where he's playing?
Yes. I mean, you asked me, is this on? Yeah, I do think it matters.
Yeah.
I kind of do. I think it's just a messy situation. Cincinnati, their owner came out in the offseason and explained their financial strategy toward players, and it made no sense. It made Jerry Jones look like a sound GM. I just don't think the Bengals, and to your point, like, they're not building the right way. They paid their wide receivers, but they didn't want to pay Trey Hendrickson. I don't know. They just seem like a total mess. I think he could have success somewhere else. It's not easy because he's going to be older by the time he gets out of there, right? I mean, how long is he signed?
Well, he's in the middle of a really big deal, but you would imagine, like, these deals get redone and redone, and I wonder about Joe if he would have the stomach to actually leave Ohio, because you kind of are turning your back on the fan base when you do something like that. Carson Palmer didn't have any attachment to the state of Ohio. There's a Joe Burrow hometown. I know he's not from Cincinnati necessarily.
Cincinnati's a bit different. It's not like, Dan Patrick was from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure because it's a big state. I'm not sure that being in Cincinnati is so important to him. You could be right, but I think he could leave Cincinnati, go to L.A.
The Rams?
I mean, eventually, I'm thinking basketball, but all the big stars end up going out west at some point. Yeah, I don't know. I could see it. I could see
that
this.
Would have to get messy, though. Like, Carson Palmer had to get messy. He had to be away from the team. That trade didn't go through for weeks.
It's the Bengals. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. They create a mess. I think they're a little lower profile, so they don't get the attention the Dallas Cowboys do, but they're not that different.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Would Joe Burrow turn heel like that? And I'm not saying that people necessarily faulted Carson Palmer, but it's a big step. I know we're used to it in the NBA where guys ask for trades all the time and somehow make up, I guess, like mend fences later. But it's not the same when you have a franchise quarterback like that.
Well, one thing, too, I don't think any quarterback in their right mind would leave Jamar Chase right now.
No, he's so good.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, T. Higgins is not far behind. That's why I'm more into this Bengals team right now. I am dying to see this Minnesota-Cincinnati game. Will tell us a lot because Jake Browning is a very high-end backup.
Yeah, I mean, threw 3 picks when he came in. Although, to be fair to him, he didn't know he was going to be starting that day. I know you're always prepared as a backup, but he got thrown into the game.
He could be like a Jeff Hostetler type, like a very high-end competent, or Gus Farad, like that kind of guy. I think he could win some games.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Is Joe Burrow not going to be considered one of the all-time greats because of his injury history? Maggie Perloff. All right, here we go. This is Maggie Gray.
Trouble Sam took the mic in sequence and shame. Said I'll win this contest, you'll remember my name. But the teleprompter froze, he pulled out a cheat sheet. Lip sync and turn back time with 2 left feet. Oh, the crowd they booed, the DJ cried. Even Cher herself would have run to hide. If he could cheat in karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. Meanwhile, at the station, the chaos goes on. Bilotti's working, but he's still not gone. The phones are ringing, the bosses scream, but Pete's still coasting like it's part of the team. Sam's spilling beer on the judge's chair, screaming, "Do you believe?" with his hands in the air. The crown is crooked, the crowd's in despair. Bilotti no shows, but no one cares. If Sam could cheat in karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. Meanwhile at the station for karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. If Sam could cheat in karaoke, he'd steal the crowd, it ain't a jokey. But the truth is clear, the whole world knows Drunk Sam singing's worse than Bilotti's no shows. Those shows ever seen.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
All right, how good does this have to look for Kansas City against the Giants so people will stop panicking? Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. And I guess I'm going to use panicking. Take that with a grain of salt. It's the Chiefs. We know their season doesn't even start till the AFC Championship game, but Pearl, it does not look the same. And I'm not buying this theory that they're tinkering with the offense, waiting for Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy to get healthy. Because if they were just tinkering with the offense, kind of what sometimes Bill Belichick used to do with the Patriots, where it would kind of treat September as an extended preseason, they would actually be going to guys lower on the depth chart. They'd be really seeing what they have in some of these players. And instead, we're seeing them force feed Hollywood Brown and, quite frankly, have Patrick Mahomes be their leading rusher. It's not that innovative. It's not creative. And it doesn't look like they're setting up for the knockout blow in any sense. It feels like they're hanging on for dear life.
But yeah, we know that Kansas City is going to be a tale of two seasons once they get Xavier Worthy healthy and Rashee Rice back on the field. So I think everybody in Kansas City is in a wait and see mode. Like, you got to just survive till you get your receivers back. Because, listen, Rashee Rice is, I think, already became better than Travis Kelce is in that offense. Like, he was, before he got hurt last year, he had 100 yards in 3 of 4 games. The last quarter of the season of his rookie year, he was the dominant player on that team. So you get Rice back and you get Worthy back. The question is, can you get enough wins to wait for that? And then the schedule gets easier. And your O-line, you're trying to figure that out. They don't even really know who they're playing on their O-line at this point, which is typical Andy Reid. So I totally buy the work in progress thing. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, I don't. Because I think if it was really a work in progress, you'd be seeing a lot more plays to, again, some of the guys on the depth chart that we're not very familiar with. And it'd be like
plays. Patrick Mahomes ran most of the time he dropped back. There was nobody open.
That's not tinkering with the offense. That's not seeing what you have. That's like, Vic Fangio, God, we got to try to win this game, and we need Patrick Mahomes to be Superman.
They dropped back. They wanted to throw to all these guys, but they were all covered because – yeah, I don't know what happened in that game, but it's not like, I'm sure Patrick Mahomes wanted to throw to all these guys, but he didn't see any open receivers.
Okay, but Andy Reid's the guy. He's the offensive guy, right? He's the one who, yes, no matter how sticky the coverage might be for the Eagles secondary, and Chargers defense is legit, but the Eagles defense, Dak Prescott was throwing all over your Eagles defense in the opener until the weather delay. That was like trading blows here. You came in the next day. You're like, no one's talking about the Eagles secondary. This is a big problem. Why am I the only one who's nervous about this? And then all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes can't find a receiver, and we're not supposed to raise an eyebrow?
Well, I'm just saying, Andy Reid, I mean, this is the current Chiefs. Same thing happened last year. I mean, did their offense not look terrible last year?
No, but you kept pointing out, aren't they kind of playing with fire? Now, it was 15-2, but then they got to the Super Bowl and they got smoked.
But I did point that out last year. I was like, well, this offense stinks.
Yeah.
But you know what? Then I saw them basically get to the Super Bowl with that stinky offense. So I can't write them off now just because they look bad. I do think, again, I really think Rashee Rice is a massive impact on that team. They love throwing these little screen passes, and he's a great yak guy where I don't think Hollywood Brown is as good at that. I think it's a big step down.
Do you think it matters how it looks against the Giants?
Not at all. I think they need to get out of there with a win, like 0%. As long as they win that game, they're fine. Even if they go to 1-3, they're fine. They're not going to blow out anybody. Who have they blown out? When's the last time they had a blowout?
That's fine. No, they don't blow people out, but that is indicative of what kind of Super Bowl contender you might actually be. And two, they wanted to do something different this year.
I think Andy Reid's evolved where he is now closer to Belichick. Just find a way to win. To his credit, like the fact that he, in the last 2 years, has just been so content to hand the ball off and not have a passing game. Back in Philly, the constant criticism was you will never run the ball. All you want to do is pass. And he's evolved so much as a coach to put everything that he knows to the side just for the win, just like Bill Belichick did in New England.
Okay, but is that evolving, or is that you have Patrick Mahomes and you feel like because he's the best quarterback in the league, you can just put everything on his plate? Because Tom Brady was a phenomenal quarterback. A lot was on his plate as well, but obviously he wasn't the athlete that Mahomes is.
No, he didn't put everything on Mahomes' plate. He started to hand the ball off like crazy.
No, I'm talking about this year.
Yeah,
though.
But even this year, how many times did he try Pacheco? Against the Eagles, they're giving a lot of handoffs. They're not passing the ball a lot.
Well, if you're giving that many handoffs to Pacheco, what does it say about your team that Patrick Mahomes is still your leading rusher?
Well, it didn't work. But they're still trying. You know, that's the thing. Like, if you want to commit to the run, you have to admit Andy Reid is committed to the run.
It's not a bad idea. I get it.
Yeah,
but
it's against his character, too. He does not want to do that.
It just doesn't feel like this is Andy Reid tinkering in the lab, and setting up for this second season. Sure, like the schedule may get easier or whatever on paper, but last year they had games that you thought were winnable by a lot, and they were winning on last-second field goals and, some ref calls and all the other things that the Chiefs enjoy. So, I don't know, 888-710-4ISN. I think it does matter how it starts to look here, and I know that no one's going to start panicking. They're playing the Giants this week, and then they play the Ravens at home the week after, and if it's 1-3, I was looking back over the Patriots dynasty, never only made the playoffs once by coming in second place in the AFC East, right?
Wow, I mean, that's the AFC East.
I understand that, but
how do you never coming in second in the AFC East? That's like
I know it's tough to do. Yeah. Back then, all those teams were such garbage, but 0-2 never had an 0-2 start with Tom Brady.
Yeah. And the Chiefs had an 0-2 since 14. But we know that, the AFC better knock the Chiefs out early because we know it's going to be a different team in the second half of the season, assuming that everybody stays healthy. If you bring back those two receivers, it's a completely different team.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right. How important is it for Kansas City to look good, the offense to look good against the Giants? Perloff says not at all. I think it does need to look a certain way to get themselves back on track. Let's get to the great debate.
The Great Debate Series.
All right, Pro. Do you know who are 1 and 2 in the current Heisman odds?
Yeah, John Mateer and Carson Beck.
You got it. What do those two guys have in common? With a lot of other quarterbacks, by the way. But what do those two guys have in common?
They transferred. And you know who else did? Everybody else on the top 15 of this Heisman list.
Yep. Well,
there's not a single person except for Jeremiah Smith who's been at the same school. But go ahead.
They've got in common. You nailed it the first time around. They are both transfers.
Oh, yeah. I knew this in advance because we talked about it in the pre-production meeting.
So who is the greatest college football transfer? Loosely based off of John Mateer and Carson Beck. And
Dante Moore.
And everyone in college football right now.
And Joey Aguilar. And Jackson Arnold. And Devin Dampier. And everybody else who's on this Heisman list. Mm-hmm. Except for Drew Aller. That dude is loyal to Manny's Penn State.
We are loyal.
All right, Pearl. Who is the greatest transfer of all time?
First of all, if you're going to do this debate, you better pick somebody the last 10 years since transferring has gone crazy. How is there any other answer except Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow, not only did he transfer, had the greatest single season in college football history, and there's not even a close second statistically. There are close seconds sort of narratively. 60 touchdowns, Maggie. 60 touchdowns. Took LSU to the national title, beat Alabama at the peak of Nick Saban's Alabama. He did have pretty good receivers, I'll give you that, but won the Heisman. And not only that, the guy left his home state. If we're talking about the whole nature of transfer, lost the quarterback battle to Dwayne Haskins at Ohio State, which is understandable. Dwayne Haskins is the prettiest thrower probably in the history of college football. Couldn't beat him out. Had to leave his home state, which we just mentioned he was loyal to go to LSU. Struggled his first year, stuck with it, and then became the all-time college quarterback, Joe Burrow.
They're bringing it. Burrow's got time, launching for the end zone. Jump ball, touchdown, Terrence Marshall. And Burrow believes that was a crucial play to stretch the lead. You can see by the reaction, dropped a dime again.
No, I feel like I could win this debate because Joe Burrow that went on the NFL was great too, and people will vote on the poll based on NFL success as well, which we all do that thing. But Joe Burrow, we found out, was the real deal at LSU. If it wasn't for the ability to transfer, he might have never even played. So he, to me, fits the nature of this debate.
Joe Burrow's a good one, but I think I have one better, and I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield. Let's hear it.
Baker Mayfield throws, has Anderson, first down, Anderson, can he get there? Touchdown, Sooners! What a play, 43 yards. Baker Magic Mayfield.
I am proud to announce that this year's Heisman Trophy winner is Baker Mayfield of the University of Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's how it ended. how it started was Baker Mayfield as a walk-on at Texas Tech, Pearl, okay? Then transfers to Oklahoma, had to sit out a year. Remember when you had to do that? All the way back in 2014, where he still had to sit out. Then flourished when he got onto the field in 2015. Goes 11-2 his first year, 12-1 the second year, wins the Heisman. The numbers are just insane. Boomer! And became a thing in a place that is college football, blue blood. And, lost to Georgia. I understand the Rose Bowl. I get that. But he also was one of the biggest landslides in the history of the Heisman. So for me, as far as transfers are concerned, I will go with Baker Mayfield as the greatest. EJ, what do you have?
Boomer! Okay, not an Oklahoma Sooner and not a Heisman Trophy winner, but one of the most phenomenal athletes to ever play in college football. And to me, when I think of best college transfers, it's not about necessarily your accolades. I just want the best football player. And I don't think there has ever been a college football player better than Randy Moss.
6 yards to go now. Two deep zone. Screen. Outside screen to Moss. And he's got some room. And moves. Randy Moss. Oh, my. Oh! Now we see the speed. Randy Moss. Looks like he's going the distance. Randy Moss. What a play. Wow.
Almost 20 years later, I find out that the play was supposed to have been penalized. Back when we were playing, you could not hurdle a guy, so the referee was supposed to throw the flag. Well, I'm glad he didn't, because that was a hell of a play that I made. I wowed myself.
Wait, I have a question about these. So, are you counted as a transfer if you never played at the original place?
I mean, he had to transfer schools. He transferred from Notre Dame, transferred from Florida State, and then eventually landed at Marshall, where he finally did get on the field. Yeah. And we want to talk accolades. We could talk accolades. 1,600 yards as a wide receiver, 25 touchdowns, average 137 yards per game, fourth in Heisman voting. But I think he should win on just that one play. This man caught a 2-yard screen pass, ran it 90 yards, and at one point completely hurdled a running defender at him, full stride, kept going to the rest of the 80 yards. I mean, one of the most spectacular plays you'll ever see. Randy Moss, the greatest college football transfer of all time.
84 don't stretch on game day.
He does not.
You watched a lot of Thundering Herd back in '97 there?
Oh, I did. I loved myself some Chad Pennington, and then he became a Jets quarterback, of course.
Manny was the
4 years old.
It was the greatest transfer of all time.
All right, well, Perloff brings up a good point that I'm hoping that the voters will, think about this player with his success in the NFL. But before all that, he was a starting quarterback at Alabama, national championship game. He sees himself get benched for Tua Tagovailoa. He goes out to Oklahoma and just goes ahead, has a 12-2 record, throws for over 3,800 yards. I will go begrudgingly with Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts.
1st and 10 at the 27. Hurts throws off his back foot again. CeeDee Lamb. Touchdown OU. CD. Another TD.
First team All Big 12 that season at Oklahoma. Also was an All-American, and by the way, he's a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. I'll go with that guy in Philadelphia. Guy who can't throw for over 100 yards in a game.
Bogusch, who's the greatest college transfer of all time?
I couldn't believe this guy was there to be picked when I finally got around to picking. He first went to Florida, where he was stuck behind a stiff called Tim Tebow. Then he got into a little legal trouble, so he had to go to the JUCO route, ending up at Blinn College, which led to Auburn and arguably the greatest season in college football history.
Pump fake by Cam. Now he's going to go deep to Zachary. He's there at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, touchdown, Auburn!
The year was 2010. Those Auburn Tigers, undefeated national champs. Cameron Newton accounted for over 4,300 yards of offense and 51 touchdowns. He was the Heisman Trophy winner. He was throwing to guys named Lutenkruken, not multiple pros at LSU. And I believe Randy Moss was playing for one AA Marshall. So give me Cam Newton in 2010 as the greatest football transfer in college football history.
I don't like any of this. Wait,
he's 12 years old out here, man.
Transfer portal, like we think of a guy going from like one Division 1A school to another, not a JUCO. And you guys had like 3 Lincoln Riley products. Like I should win this poll with Joe Burrow. I mean, like you might as well throw
I should win this
He
poll.
did Jalen Hurts. You did Baker Mayfield. I thought about doing Kyler Murray. Like those are all Joe Burrow.
Yeah, because LSU can't catch a break. They won national championships more recently than any of these teams.
But don't you think it's odd that the same coach had 3 transfer quarterbacks in the Heisman race in 3 years in a row? Like that was clearly something going on there.
But the reason why Baker Mayfield should win is because he was the first of those guys. Because they were coming off the Blake Bell era.
And he planted the flag.
And he planted the flag at Ohio State.
And he could dance with his
really
teammates.
cool.
That was amazing.
Yes, and he could Dougie.
Yeah, and he's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Bogusch, way to diss the MAC. Marshall playing in the MAC, and that was not a double A school.
No, not in 1996.
1997? You told me Miami, Ohio, these were all double A schools?
I just reconfirmed it. It says their last year in 1AA was 96 when Randy Moss was there. They won the national title.
Right, but I'm talking about 97.
Yeah, still.
I don't care what the date says.
Exactly.
I should win because Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, so he's had the most success at the professional level. So,
now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Randy Moss should have won a Super Bowl.
I'm trying to win over here. I've got a good streak on these over the last few Wednesdays, so I'm trying to keep it going.
No, Manny got a taste of a little victory. And
did we? Yeah,
it's
by the way,
delicious.
we all did. Maggie basically, because Baker Mayfield won on Monday night,
Yep.
Maggie went with Baker Mayfield.
I get this formula.
EJ's got Randy Moss, we all went with NFL guys, and Cam was amazing too.
Well, forget it. Before I was doing this to be interesting. Now I'm doing it to win. No, there's some other guys out there that we left 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476, including some pretty prominent quarterbacks / broadcasters.
Troy Aikman.
It was very specific.
Troy Aikman transferring from UCLA also automatically disqualifies you from this conversation because that's not a real football program.
It was then, wasn't it?
In the 80s.
Very disrespectful.
Not really. Not really.
Closer then.
They're in LA, if you didn't know.
Next to USC.
Yeah.
It's them and USC, actually.
Even back then, they were like, I don't even think they made him wait a year. It's like, get out of that program the fastest
It's us
you can.
and USC. We're in LA.
No, I mean, he transferred to UCLA.
Yeah.
I screwed that one up.
Yeah, it was
But
backwards.
anyway, no, I mean, come on. You're not going to do Troy Aikman. We had a big Troy Aikman conversation last night. You're saying he's better than Joe Burrow threw 60 touchdowns.
That's a damn embarrassment.
He won the national title.
I know, but nobody was throwing 60 touchdowns when Troy Aikman was in college. Everyone was running the ball too much.
Yeah, I mean, again, like Cam Newton. You're telling me Troy was better in college than Cam Newton?
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
The list I found mentioned Roger Staubach, and I almost went with him just so I could say that he went first to the New Mexico Military Institute.
Yeah, imagine
before going to the
the
Naval
parties
Academy.
at that place.
And by the way, I was tempted to go Josh Allen, even though he did absolutely nothing in college, just because he was technically a transfer and he's a great NFL player.
Well, we did say no junior colleges,
Yeah.
which Josh did go to junior college
Go
before
Bills.
Wyoming.
Yeah, and he was not very good at Wyoming.
But that's not transferring.
No. We said that wouldn't count. It's not junior colleges like Aaron Rodgers went to junior college, then went to Cal. We did not include that in this debate.
Yeah, you don't transfer. Technically you don't transfer from junior college to a full NCAA school.
I think this is how Diego Pavia won this case against the NCAA, right? Wasn't he saying junior college doesn't count against my eligibility?
Oh, now does Randy Moss did he
Yeah.
technically transfer? Because he was, I don't know how enrolled in part of the team he was.
The way I read his history today was that he never went to Notre Dame.
Right.
Notre
Yeah.
Dame dropped ended his commitment because he got in trouble in high school.
Right.
But then he had to transfer from Florida State to Marshall.
He did, but he never played a game at Florida State. So
No.
why do you have to transfer?
Because he was enrolled at the school.
Got
He
it.
was a student, yeah.
That's how I'm reading it. That could be. I don't remember the Florida State part of this at all.
I mean, it's pictures of him in Florida State gear, like working out.
Yeah. So if he went there and was enrolled, then you have to transfer.
Got it.
What do you think? 888-710-4ISN, the greatest college football transfer of all time. We do have some Heisman stuff for you as well with your two frontrunners, John Mateer and Carson Beck. Your September Heisman check-in, we will do that. Also, man, speaking of great debates, so last week I did not win, and I actually want to protest it now because
I won.
You did win. But I want to protest my loss now because of new information that has come to light over the last 24 hours.
Oh, that's too bad, man.
No,
I don't give back dubs. I don't give back the
There
wins.
is new information now on a choice that I had last week that I think if we put the poll back out again, it would change the results. We'll give you all that next. Maggie and Perloff Show.
All right, Maggie, this is a very, very fun time of year. And I got to be honest, on non-football nights, I love having PrizePicks because there's so many different sports you can get into. PrizePicks, it's the best. You can get paid for being right. Millions of users, billions of dollars awarded in winnings. PrizePicks, best place to put your takes to the test. So simple to use. You just pick 2 or more players across any sport. You could go WNBA, you could go baseball tonight, pick more or less on their projection. And if you're right, you could win big.
How about this, a little tasty one for you? You can do Matt Olson, Pearl. We're all familiar with him because he's been killing our teams for years. Over 6.5 hitter fantasy score. And then how about pairing that up with my girl, Jonquel Jones, GW's finest, with the New York Liberty tonight, over 27.5, more than 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let's have a little fun, people, on PrizePicks. Don't miss any of the action this season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. All you got to do is download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code MNP. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on PrizePicks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing, guaranteed. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
But lately I've been feeling like a slave for the nicotine.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. So this week's great debate, greatest transfer in college football history. But there's, I guess, some controversy about last week's great debate, which I'd already forgotten what it was.
There isn't controversy.
Okay, wait, hold on. First of all, we all picked quarterbacks except for EJ, who picked a wide receiver. You picked Randy Moss.
Yeah.
The rest of us picked quarterbacks.
Did I say quarterback? Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, if you're talking about the greatest college transfer of all time, I actually think Jared Verse deserves a nod here because he went from Albany, like an FCS school, to Florida State, and it's not his fault that they got absolutely jobbed out of going to the college football playoff, and he's awesome in the NFL also.
Oh,
Where are
yeah.
you from, Maggie?
Yeah, Jared Verse and Cam Newton, same.
I'm just saying, Caleb Downs, there are defensive guys who probably deserve to be mentioned
Not
as
them,
well.
No, because Cam Newton only touched the ball on every single play, where Jared Verse had like 3 sacks in a big game.
Listen, Albany is Rochester, Binghamton adjacent.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jared Verse. That was just to point out to the audience that Jared Verse went to a school in central New York. Like, that had nothing to do with the debate.
Go Great Danes.
Listen, I'd be bringing up Khalil Mack a lot more if I was really concerned about getting upstate New York into the show.
Broken.
Hey, horns up.
That's a shame.
Go UB.
Okay, so last week's great debate. So you're welcome to weigh in on this one. Who's the greatest college transfer of all time? 888-710-4ISN. I just want to say last week was our great debate of who's the biggest NFL coaching character of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, and Manny won that because he picked John Madden.
Boom.
55% for Manny.
Yeah, it was a landslide.
Love it.
I do.
Now, I just would love to know if there would have been more votes for Jim Harbaugh had we had learned this about him before last week. Here's Dion Henley, who had a big interception in the Chargers' win over the Raiders on Monday night, reveals that Jim Harbaugh, like Manny, loves Zins.
He goes into these rants, and I mean, they get so out of the nowhere. You don't understand the man. He gets to talking. He gets to go from, hey, guys, we need to be able to focus. His Zen falls out. He's a Zenner. I don't know if he knows that, but he loves his Zen.
Okay, so the Zin falls out of his mouth. It's like a tobacco product, and then what does he do with it?
His Zen falls out. He goes to pick it up. He's like, you know what? I'll just save it for next time. Tries to put the Zen in his pocket. It falls again. He's like, we're all like, Coach, let the Zen go. Let the Zen go. He pulls out 5-6 packets of them. Like, you know what? I got more for next time. We're like, what was the point of even trying to save the one that you just dropped? I mean, like, the guy is just all over the place. But when it comes to football, it's all about winning.
Manny, how many Zins come in one tin?
That's a great question. 12 maybe? Yeah, 15 of them.
Okay. More from Jim Harbaugh and why he should be considered the greatest NFL coaching character of all time. Gets into the ice tub with the rest of his players, but imagine this in your mind.
He is one of the silliest dudes I know. Jump in the ice tub in all of his clothes. full clothes, jump in the ice tub. Man, he's different, bro. He's so different.
So after a practice or after a game, he'll jump in the ice tub in all his gear.
Completely, fully clothed.
Oh, wow.
Exactly what he had on.
He's different.
Khakis on in the ice tub. Thank you, Jordan Schultz. That was with Draymond Green as well. Okay. Would I have not gotten a few more votes?
0.
Had that information been public?
I mean, okay, the act is now so played out. I told Bogusch before, do you guys know The Boys? It's a show on, I don't even,
familiar.
Prime.
Yep. Prime.
It's a superhero show, but it's really dark. there's a meme that often goes around where Homelander, the star, is like, nobody likes me. He's looking sad. Then people start cheering. He looks around like, oh, wait a second. People like me. Did you guys know that meme?
Yes.
Very, very popular. Anyway, at a certain point, someone started laughing at Jim Harbaugh's foibles and his weird habits. And now he's just tripling down. He's become such a fake. I mean, he's doing this. Everything you just described is all for impact. He was never funny in San Francisco. Then at Michigan, people are like, oh, my God, this guy pleats his pants. He's so weird. And then he's like, oh, people are laughing at me. Now he just plays into it for the laughs. Like 100% of the time. He's such a phony.
Pearl, he's been tucking his sweatshirt into khakis back to the San Francisco days.
Did anyone ever laugh at us? He was the least funny coach in the NFL when he was at San Francisco. And then he wasn't even funny in Michigan forever. And then he started, people started, enjoying the Jim Harbaugh days. He was a jerk back then. And then they beat Ohio State. He's like, well, people are laughing and we're beating Ohio State. This is all good. Now he's tripling down. This is all, he's created a character, man. You're falling for it. It's not real.
The dude had a Zyn, which is basically like chewing tobacco, but not.
Oh, he's crazy,
fall out of his mouth, and he put it in his pocket.
You don't think
that's not an act.
Getting into the ice tub with your clothes on, I mean, come on. You don't think Jim Harbaugh is playing into this stuff now?
I think he's just a stone cold weirdo.
No, I think he knows where the camera is now. I think he's changed his act.
Is Jim Harbaugh a phony?
Definitely.
DJ, put it up on the poll. Yes, no.
Reusing a Zyn, that's a.
Thank you.
That's
he is also crazy, but he is definitely. There's no doubt about that.
That's probable cause. That's enough for an arrest.
But do you guys remember?
Is he a phony? Yes, no.
Back in the day, Jim Harbaugh was not funny.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
The Trent Baalke, Jim Harbaugh. There was nothing funny, but he had a great team, and he's rubbed everyone the wrong way and got kicked out of San Francisco.
Don't remember any better laughs while he was in San Francisco.
He was unlikable there.
Mm.
I mean,
it changed.
Between the media and also just people within the building. He was seen as a guy who was too intense.
Must be the nicotine.
Yeah, I mean,
the withdrawal.
Yeah, he's also totally crazy.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines. And is Jim Harbaugh a fraud? Yes or no? We can vote at Maggie and Pearl on it.
Fraud? No, I said he's phony.
Sorry, phony.
Joe Burrow's toe, J.J. McCarthy's ankle, Jaden Daniels' knee, Justin Fields' concussion.
What a disgrace.
It's not a good stretch for QB health, but at least Josh Allen can joke about his busted nose.
Has the praise turned into now people making fun of you and joking?
Why would they do that?
Brown said you looked like a different teammate. Who's down there?
Yeah, I'm the third Bosa brother in the league,
So I guess the Bosas are infamous for big noses? Is that what this joke is?
The protruding foreheads, which I think the swelling of the nose has made his forehead look like caveman-esque.
Joey Bosa's got a big nose, and like me. And Joey Bosa gets made a lot of fun for it.
Okay. Allen,
who's playing, by the way, kind of okay. He's pretty good, by the way.
Joey Bosa?
Yeah, I mean.
Can't judge off of the Jets tape. Sorry, EJ.
No, I mean, but he had a big play at the end of the first game.
And you'll be able to judge after the Dolphins tape?
Let's see what happens. That's a desperate team coming into Buffalo.
We can't judge Joey Bosa until they play the Chiefs in the divisional round.
Classic trap game here.
Did he have a good fourth quarter against Baltimore? Am I imagining that?
He ended up having a couple plays in the fourth quarter, yep.
Allen and the Bills are back on the field tomorrow against the Dolphins, as Manny just mentioned. Allen says he might wear a clear protective visor.
Any word on whether or not he'll have a Zyn in his mouth during the game?
And speaking of Joe Burrow, the Bengals have signed Mike White and Sean Clifford, PR, to their practice squad while promoting Brett Rippon to back up Jake Browning. He did it again last night.
His pitch right on a high drive, right field. Going back, looking up, goodbye. Up on the plaza, beyond right field, a two-run homer by Trent Grisham. And the Yankees open up a lead here for Trent. That's his 31st home run.
And Steve Sims on WFAN. Now, oddly, we were quickly made aware of Trent Grisham's latest homer as he and the Yankees built a 10-1 lead last night in Minnesota, but then no texts from Manny as Minnie scored the next 8 runs. Unfortunately for the rest of us, David Bednar finally got the 27th out, and the Yankees hung on for a 10-9 win.
The reason there was no text was because I was Sleepy Time Bobos by then. I was knocked out. Good
I gotcha. The Blue Jays got a 6-5 win in Tampa last night, so Toronto's lead atop the AL East remains 5 games on the Yanks. Before that game, the Jays said Bo Bichette will not return during the regular season from his sprained knee. 2 sweeps were possible last night in the WNBA playoffs. Neither happened. The Aces losing in Seattle 86-83 after the Dream woke up in Indy 77-60. Decisive Game 3s tomorrow in Vegas and Atlanta. And congratulations are in order to Manny and for Maggie, both selected earlier today in Pat Boyle's Vegas hangover draft of Infinity Sports Network employees. Pete Bellotti, Manny's predecessor, picked Manny with the first selection of round 3, 2 picks after Pat took Maggie.
I know Maggie Gray is a good time.
Okay.
I got a real good feeling Maggie Gray would be a real good time in Vegas.
Mark it down.
Drinks will be flowing.
What?
Maggie knows how to have fun. I'll leave it at that. And there's no innuendo there. I just know Maggie would be a great time in Vegas. So I'm going me, Carlos, and Maggie Gray. That's our 3-person crew so far with 2 more to add.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong with that one.
Come over here. I love you.
I'm a woman now.
Who has Pat been talking to? Kelly. Yeah. I mean, does my reputation precede me here? I thought what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So Manny was the first pick in the third, so Maggie was the last pick in the second round.
Hold on. No, there were 3 picks. So Maggie was the second pick of the second round.
Okay.
And then Pete had back-to-back picks in a snake draft, and he took Manny with the second of those 2 picks.
Just a bad idea. It's true. Because it's a little off. I appreciate Pat and the vote of confidence there that I'd be
non-innuendo that you'd be a good time.
Well, I mean, Pat, yeah. I mean, what have you heard? Again,
I Frenched that thing like I was in Paris.
The fact is, Manny is the correct choice.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
Manny was probably low on that. What happened? Was there a combine interview you asked up, Manny?
Yeah, you know what? My physicals, I wasn't feeling great that day. So, you know what? I just came out a little bit slow on the 40. But you know what? You come back during my pro day, I promise you I'll have that 4.4 speed, 4.3 speed that everybody's looking for.
He did a Shedeur Sanders. He was like, I should be number 1 pick. I'm not going to talk to anybody.
I'm bilingual. I got to use it.
Yeah, I don't do whiteboards. Leave me alone.
I know my sports.
We've been to Vegas together.
Yes.
Perloff and I and EJ.
Yeah.
For the Super Bowl, and then Perloff and I were there with Samter for the draft.
Yep.
NFL draft. And
Good
we
time.
all made it back in one piece.
Did. Thanks to Maggie. Number two pick in the second round.
Yeah. Little rich. I'd eat the yellow snow.
5th overall, Maggie.
Yeah, I was overdrafted there. I'm not ordering a blow-up doll. Perloff has sat with me at a blackjack table.
Yeah.
And then you got up from the table.
I did. I got up while I was winning, which is a cardinal sin. She's got the pineapples on the tatas.
So you're not as cool as you give off? Because I would have. You would have been on my. No, you would have been on my board, and you were on my board in this exercise this morning too. So we were all wrong.
First of all, I can't get into the Sphere.
That's okay.
You're banned from.
It's a James Dolan property.
You're banned from the top attractions that's in Vegas right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
What's this?
No U2, no NSYNC.
No Wizard of Oz right now.
No
That's funky.
Wizard of Oz.
Who is you? That's what they're doing? You Wizard of Oz at the Sphere?
Yeah, and it's got I think you feel the twister, and I think they might spray water at you, so it's very the whole thing.
Didn't you go to one of those movie theaters recently? The
No.
full immersive?
I did.
EJ did. Sorry,
I did. So Superman. That was
Superman,
awesome.
right.
Man.
Oh, like you got snow?
Yeah, 4D. That was sick.
This is what's really going on. Maybe.
All right, so I'm glad I didn't pick you now. If you're abstaining.
So who was your team?
I picked in order Scott Farrell, my good friend Mike Biseglia for entertainment purposes only, and then I picked Bill Ryder for his gambling expertise, and I picked Tiki for his ability to be Tiki and get us into places.
Yeah,
Doors open for that guy.
He's got the money too.
You were a loser, right? He can fund us, and he can get us, through the velvet ropes.
Yeah, that's a must pick.
Yeah,
yeah, and also with Tiki, you could pretend if there's a Bucks fan,
he's
you
Rondé.
say you were the Rondé.
Yeah,
he's versatile.
He's actually 2 people in one.
Giants or Bucks?
If there's any
offense or defense,
somehow there are chemistry issues with the team. You could just have fun being, let's just trick people and thinking that he's Rondé just for a couple hours. That alone will have 20, 30 laughs.
Have you seen my team? It's Pete, Sean Marash, Andy Gresh, myself, and Jody Mack running around Vegas.
Pete's a terrible general manager.
Yeah, you'd have to carry that team.
Yeah,
bro.
I am doing. My back hurts already.
New
Need to go see a
back.
chiropractor. Good Lord, Pete, give me some help.
I'd go with that team because I love Jody Mack. Appreciate you. Yeah, Jody Mack is my number one. You kidding me? Hanging out with Jody Mack in Vegas?
Jody Mack coming back. You know what I mean? Right here on Infinity Sports.
I would also want to point out that after picking Maggie, Boyle followed up with Dave Marinick.
Yes, I know this, and I said Dave Marinick would probably be the guy most likely would have to pry out of jail. Not because of him, because he'd find himself in some weird situation. Like all of a sudden he's at a high-stakes poker table.
Yeah, he's Ed Helms from The Hangover.
Yeah,
I mean, they're basically the same person.
All of a sudden, like, Marinick's in major trouble.
Right, lost a tooth. Aside from
Mike Tyson tattoo in the face.
Right, exactly.
He'll never get lost on the roof, though, because you hear him laugh a little bit, and you can hear that laugh all the way to Vancouver, Canada.
It's almost like a lost my phone like a app. Yeah.
My goodness, that laugh. Overpowering.
So good.
Love you, David.
I love it.
Before we break, can I ask one sports question? No. I'm just looking at a deep dive into some numbers here. If a player throughout his 20s had a career high of 15 homers and now has 31 homers at age 29, wouldn't you think that is a little odd?
Are you trying to pour cold water on Trent Grisham?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's who's. I couldn't remember what player this was.
Hey, listen, man. You just go ahead. Listen, when you're 5'11", 210 pounds, like that muscle hamster, you're bound to hit some ding dongs out of Yankee Stadium. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying that mustache seems a little unnatural.
It's coming in a little thick.
What are you trying to say about mine?
Is that the only reason you love Trent Grisham? Is because of the mustache?
No, because he hits 30 tanks for the Yankees. That's why I love Trent Grisham, and yes, because he has a mustache.
Half the texts on our show text thread are about Trent Grisham.
And half your Instagram stories.
You only seem to text us when the Mets are playing well, too, which is rare. But it's like, why are you texting us when the Mets are winning?
Well, when he has 31 home runs, and the Mets have about 31 wins over the last 7 months. So
Spending quality time with my family, and my daughter's like, Daddy, can you help me with my homework? I'm like, no, there's an important show text coming up. Oh, Trent Grisham doubled.
Yeah, you got that right.
It's not even words anymore. It's just a picture of Trent Grisham on a tank.
I know. Somehow Manny has recruited Kaplan to make all of his Photoshops.
Texas Trent tanks, I'm telling you, man. Hey, you guys are so lucky I wasn't part of the show when Nestor Cortez was having a great season for the Yankees. Oh, I would have been miserable. Are you just kidding me? What, Matt Carpenter with that mustache?
At least Nestor, I believe, was clean. No disrespect to Trent.
Well, that's why he had a twist and turn.
Yeah, he had that funky delivery.
An actual skill.
Before he threw the ball home plate.
Trent might be fine. We're not calling.
No, we're just joking around here. But no, Nestor Cortez was basically ballroom dancing out there on the mound.
Dude, how about the 3 weeks Matt Carpenter had for the Yankees when after the Cardinals had let him go, he hit every home run. Oh, it would have been so annoying.
Manny, you're turning us against Trent Grisham with your constant.
No, I'm not.
Text.
You take a look at Trent Grisham, you look at his headshot, and you see that mustache, and you immediately fall back in love.
It's all right. I also get DMs from Manny about Mexican Independence Day.
Well, you
keep it coming.
You brought up Claudia, so I saw that clip of Claudia on Univision Instagram, so I just DM'd it to you.
I got that too.
Yeah, it gave me goosebumps.
You did.
Oh,
wait, this was back in May?
No, yesterday.
No, yesterday when it was Independence Day. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. This is a hate crime.
All right, we got a break, everybody, you freaks. Coming up next, let's talk about Notre Dame.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 3 minutes remaining.
Goes on.
You idiots! I'll give it to you now. The stuffing serves as the bread. You're going to have Thanksgiving leftover sandwiches with stuffing waffle bread, like sliders, but you don't let me finish. You think I'm just making stuffing and waffles? Of course not, you morons. It's turkey, it's cranberry sauce in between 2 waffle stuffing pans. That's going to be the food, and now you ruined it.
2 minutes, 30 seconds
remaining. Boiling water in a waffle maker. Just let me do my job. I'm the food guy. One dipsy doodle, and we've lost our mind. Living under Gloria.
2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining.
Way.
30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. All right, bro. Big disagreement on the show, and it has to do with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So 0-2 to start the season, lose to Miami, lose to Texas A&M at home in a shootout. Will they still get into the college football playoff if they win out?
Yeah. Now, obviously, the debate starts with, do they win out? Now, I saw a huge segment on ESPN, and everybody said, like, they're still going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think they will, because a lot depends on USC. They're one ranked opponent right now. USC's 25, I believe.
Yep.
If USC stays ranked, but USC's got to win every game to stay ranked, and they go to Illinois. Like, if USC can be good and then Notre Dame can beat them, then yes, they're in. But I don't have the confidence in USC, because based on the last few years, USC hasn't played anybody yet. They look fine now. So if Notre Dame runs a schedule without a single ranked win, the College Football Playoff Committee announced before the season that they are going to really emphasize strength of schedule. I think they, believe it or not, going to make an example out of Notre Dame and resist the public pressure to put in a very popular program. So I think that it's going to hurt Notre Dame to be Notre Dame. They're going to be like, well, we keep talking about strength of schedule. We have to, put action behind our words and keep Notre Dame out.
Yeah, I do not agree with that at all. I think that the committee can say whatever they want to say. What has this committee and college football as a whole been run by and run on for decades, years, and especially now in the TV era? It's about money. And I know that the contracts are already sewn up between the college football powers that be and the TV networks, but they want money, eyeballs, and to deliver for their advertisers. And for that, Notre Dame will not be made an example of. And for that, Notre Dame will get every benefit of the doubt. Now,
it's 2025. You don't think all these programs are going to get big eyeballs?
Notre Dame is different. It still is different. And love them or loathe them, you can actually say there are half the people that love them and half the people that hate them. Not every program is like that.
I don't know. I'm not sure the metrics show that last year. I feel like, what was the team? There was one team, Ohio State, started getting really big numbers last year.
Of course, but they win. Like Notre Dame gets numbers even in years when they're down, which is, to me, this is where the committee showed you that they are going to give a safety net to Notre Dame. The fact that they lost at Miami and then they lost at home to Texas A&M and they still were ranked. And they're ranked 24. They did not fall out of the top 25. That just basically is leaving the door open for them to inch up every week because other people on top of them are going to lose and are going to fall back down or back to the pack.
Right. They're not going to get the conference title, so a couple of those spots will go to that. Of course. But I just think that they're going to be really close. It's going to be close at the end. Now, the other thing about this new, they call it the record strength thing, They are going to say those losses were against really good teams. So if A&M wins out, then that would really help.
Does A&M even have to win out?
Or they have to be good.
Yeah.
Like if A&M falls apart, that would be very bad too.
I also think it's how they lost.
Yeah.
Miami looks like the real deal, and Carson Beck's going to be a Heisman, front runner.
That would help too if they were very good the rest of the year, which they probably will be.
They lost to them by 3 points. 3 points, 2 points, 3 points, and they lost to A&M by a point.
But
these are not blowouts.
But who are they going to beat? Like, what's the win?
See, I think the committee will flip it where they would say, no, we're going to reward Notre Dame because they scheduled a very difficult teams at the beginning of the year, right? Like, you can't say conference, non-conference because they're not in one. They mostly play the ACC. But still, like, they're going to reward for saying, hey, you took on Miami, you took on A&M. Last year you went to A&M. Like, you have a pattern where you will play heavier hitters to begin the season. I think they're going to spin that as a positive for Notre Dame and not leave them out because of that.
All right, we'll see. I think the SEC is doing some things behind the scenes and working really hard. Like, we're not going to get screwed 2 years in a row. I mean, we'll see. Say Texas, for example. Texas has 2 losses and Notre Dame has 2 losses. I would really like to see them keep, but
that
Texas
would be like a one-off. I don't think you're actually going to be competing against Texas necessarily. I think you'll be competing against
Illinois.
And who do you think's going to get the nod there?
I think a 1-loss Illinois, because the Big Ten's having kind of a moment right now, would get in over a 2-loss Notre Dame.
That'd be a fight.
Well, I think a 1-loss Illinois would get in. I mean,
probably. I mean, they're ranked number 9 in the country.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could be dead wrong here. I admit your logic is spot on.
Now,
Notre Dame is a big deal, but I just feel like they are they're going to actually follow through and consider strength of schedule. And I don't care how many times you beat Purdue, I'm not putting you in for that.
EJ?
I don't think they get in. We always talk about Alabama, that FSU thing, but remember, they left them out 1 year when they were 2 losses, and then they left them out the year last year when they were 3 losses. Like, when they've had that big brand and if their resume didn't stand up, college football playoff committee's been kind of consistent with letting that big brand sit on the sideline.
I think they like the 12-team playoff and we'll do 16 and go up and up and up because it gives Notre Dame this magic carpet in every single year. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Obviously, now they got to go win. So there's that. Coming up next, will the Eagles championship have an asterisk?
You're in a 5-minute break.
came up on that old clay court. Rube strutted in like Ruber showed up with a racket in hand, talking like he's finally the man with the plan. Said this year's mine, been training all fall. Daly just laughed, didn't sweat it at all. First serves in and the crowd leans in. By the first few games, it's looking like a sin. Rube swinging wild, chasing every ball, but Daly's got answers for them all. Rube just can't be dead, it's the same old song. Every forehand's fired, every backhand strong. The score's lopsided, the outcome's clear, and Peter Bellotti still ain't here. Yeah. While Rubu's out there losing in the heat, Dubs on the mic, Perloff's in retreat, filling in smooth, keeping fans on the line, taking that show and making it shine. But back on the court, it's another route. Daly's running Rube in and out. It's 6-love quick, no mercy shown. Rube is already wishing he stayed at home. Rube just can't be dead, it's the same old song. Every forehand's fired, every backhand strong. The score's lopsided, the outcome's clear, and Peter Bellotti still ain't here. Rubu's out there losing in the heat. Dubs on the mic, Perloff's in retreat, filling in smooth, keeping fans on the line, taking that show and making it shine. But back on the court, it's another route. Daly's running Rube in and out. It's 6-love quick, no mercy shown. Rubu's already wishing he stayed at home. Rube just can't be dead, it's a losing streak. Doesn't matter if it's here or week. Jumps running hot, Perloff's nowhere near, and Peter Bellotti still ain't here. Luke packed up his bag, no smile, no cheer. Daly just grinned. See you next year. Was set, the crowd poured in. Daly versus Rube, and we all smelled the wind. The band was tuned up, the mics were on, but old Peter Bellotti was nowhere to be found. We checked the lot twice. No car, no coffee, no bag of ice, just an empty chair where he ought to be, while Daly served aces on live TV. Bellotti never clocked in, not then, not now, while Daly was winning and the crowd yelled wow. The first set served to the last sweet swing. Bellotti missed the whole dang thing. Yeah, the lights were bright and the banjos played, but Bellotti took another workday holiday. The backhand sailed, the crowd went wild. Daly high-fived every mom and child, but the victory song had a verse cut short, cause Bellotti still hadn't shown up to court. Maybe he's fishing, maybe he's asleep, maybe he's lost in the Costco meet, but one thing's sure, as the southern sun, Bellotti's work streak still stands at none. Bellotti never clocked in, not then, not now, while Daly was winning and the crowd yelled wow. The baseline grind to the trophy shine, Bellotti missed it for the 89th time. Yeah, the drinks got poured and the guitars played, but Bellotti took another workday holiday. Well, the legend's growing about his great escape. He's Houdini with PTO drapes. Some say he'll show when pigs take flight, but till then Pete's off every night. Bellotti never clocked in, not then, not now, while Daly was winning and the crowd yelled wow. The first lap cheer to the final scene, Bellotti was gone like he's always been. So raise your glass to the man MIA. Bellotti's taking one more workday holiday. Daly's got the trophy, Bellotti's got the day off again.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Philadelphia Eagles are getting upset. They don't want anybody questioning their beloved Tush push or the fact that they seem to have this unstoppable play. Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Angel Perloff. I kind of was over all Tush push talk, quite frankly, up until the game against the Chiefs, which I think kind of brought it right back into the forefront, Pearl, because, I think we've all kind of accepted the tush push. A lot of people believe, hey, all you got to do is try to stop the play. Instead of complaining about it because your team doesn't do it well enough as the Eagles, why don't you just try to stop it? And I think what changed is that we saw against Kansas City on Sunday afternoon, even the referees can't officiate it. So even when it looks like you actually may be stopping it because either the Eagles are false starting or whatever, it's not getting officiated. So there really is no way to stop this play because if the refs can't catch when the Eagles go off sides with it, then it's totally and completely unfair. Do you feel that as an Eagle fan, it's gotten back into the conversation because of what happened on Sunday?
Yeah, I don't think it was just the offsides. I think they just ran it too much on Sunday. And that game was such a slog. And that game was even boring as an Eagles fan. The second half was like, oh, my God.
They ran it a lot in the NFC Championship game.
That was a 50-22 wild shootout, though. That was a fun game for everybody involved. Saquon was running free down the field. This game was nothing like that. This game was the Eagles got a lead and just were like, let's just hang on. And they kind of killed the clock. It wasn't fun, even as an Eagles fan. It's not really the offsides. Here's my only problem with the tush push. Like, it takes forever to run. They get up there because they're trying to bait the other team offsides too. So it's just like such a slow play. I wish they almost forced just give them the first down. Wouldn't that be better? It's just such a boring play. So I get it. I think even Eagles fans are a little bored by it. But that being said, you're gonna have to absolutely outlaw it for them to stop running because why would they stop running it otherwise? And all these critics, I don't think most Eagles fans really care that much. They're just they just want to win. And I almost kind of laugh at the critics, you can't stop it, so you're trying to complain.
Yeah, no, I think you guys revel in it. Let's call it what it is. You love it. You love the fact that it gets under everybody's skin.
Sure.
And Jordan Mailata, who was on WIP, Manny, if I can hear from the Philadelphia Eagles offensive lineman, says people don't like the tush push. People saying the tush push is the reason they beat the Chiefs. That's misguided.
I understand it. I understand the outrage. What I don't understand is them using it as an excuse to why we won the game.
Right.
I think it's incredibly disrespectful to our defense and our special teams who balled out.
Oh, come on. All right.
They
disrespectful to the defense. Okay.
But they didn't win that game because of the tush push. Kansas City was not winning that game.
Mailata went on saying the discourse over the Eagles needing the tush push to win makes them very angry.
I was going to say a lot of other stuff, but, I just think it's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish, man. It makes my blood boil just thinking about it.
He could read the product of like a shampoo label and now be so enthralled by
He's
it.
amazing.
I know. I want to start saying rubbish.
He also seems like the best dude ever.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Well, he's in his feelings, everybody. Let's keep the main thing the main thing.
Let's not humanize these
because he thinks that the Eagles are being reductive, right? Like you're only winning because of the tush push. It's not because of a full team. Here's my question. Is the Eagles' success since the tush push going to have some kind of asterisk on it because they are using this play to an advantage? Forgive me, no disrespect to Jordan Mailata. It might not be the reason you're winning, but it's a reason, definitely. And yeah, maybe you could just QB sneak with Jalen Hurts, but if you could just QB sneak, why wouldn't you just QB sneak? It feels like it's actually a lot easier on everyone's body to QB sneak than it is to do this tush push. You hear Jason Kelce talk about the physical toll the tush push takes on these offensive linemen, and it sounds really, really grueling. So I don't know if a quarterback sneak is maybe a little different. It feels like it is for the center, but I think this will have an asterisk. I do. And Pearl, I kind of think about it the same way at times we talk about some of the dynasties from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s before the salary cap. So we talk about these dynasties, and it's yeah, we do. And you bring up the Dallas Cowboys, and what's the real reason why they stopped winning beyond Jerry? Is that a salary cap came in. Yeah, and Jerry couldn't find it. Can't deal with the salary cap.
But we don't talk about the Steelers from the 70s like that, do we?
Well, I think we talk about other rule changes that have happened since then, right? How defenses are able. Well, actually, with the Steelers of the 70s, as we know, they famously changed a rule, and it actually ended up helping the Steelers as far as jamming guys at the line. But the way we talk about older teams, it's well, you could hit guys over the middle back then. You could crush the quarterback back then.
But everybody could.
Right, but like the salary cap stuff or how teams play, I think gets added into at times. It's not, maybe not the first line, but it does get talked about as this was an advantage that you don't have anymore. The tush push, like when we talk about it 10, 15 years from now when it's eventually outlawed, because it will be, because it looks like the NFL hates it.
You might mention it.
You would mention it.
But let me ask you a question. What's a team that has an asterisk in the NFL? Like a champion? Name one. That NBA has a million of them. But NFL, not so much, I don't think. We don't really asterisk Super Bowl champions.
People do mention a lot about Patrick Mahomes' offensive line being banged up against Tampa Bay. And like, talk about injuries. You're talking about the NBA has asterisks because of injuries, yes? That's what you're talking
NBA
about?
because the ultimate asterisk is Akeem 1-2 because Michael Jordan was playing baseball. Like that's that
your
kind
own personal asterisk.
That's everybody's asterisk. If you Google asterisk NBA title, like, or the Spurs won because it was a strike shortened year. The strike shortened years you give an asterisk to.
And
those
the bubble.
Two. And the what?
The bubble.
Right. No, I'm saying in the NFL, like the 82 and 87, you give a little bit of an asterisk to.
Yeah.
But not even really. Like I don't think people even really care about that.
I agree.
The NBA is more of an asterisk league. I don't think the Eagles. The other thing too, the Eagles clearly didn't need the tush push in the Super Bowl. That was just the one that they won.
Yeah.
I'm sound like an idiot. Did they have the tush push?
I think on the first
Nick
drive.
Foles, they did not.
Oh,
no, not with Foles.
Yeah, so that one there's no asterisk. But I'm just saying in the
No, with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, this year's Super Bowl they had Saquon Barkley running like a madman. I don't think they needed the tush push at all in 2024. So you could asterisk that, but I don't think if you were there that was the story.
Well, yeah, but winning the Super Bowl is just one game. How about all the run to the Super Bowl? How about the close wins that you had in the playoffs?
Not really.
The Rams game?
The Rams, they were up by like 2 scores. The time was running out, and they totally just lost their mind in the last few minutes of the game.
Getting home field advantage? I mean, there's a lot of things.
That's a stretch.
I don't think so.
I mean, the fact that they won the NFC title game 55-23 and the Super Bowl 40-22, I think that would stick in people's minds. There's no tush pushing when you're win by 30.
But you ran it against the Commanders so much that a guy got penalized 3 different times in a row and got threatened to get kicked out of the game.
That's why we ran it so much, because Frankie Lou kept jumping. That's not our fault. That was his fault.
You're saying you didn't need it to win, and I'm saying you were set up at the goal line and you were running it over and over again. If you could have just ran a bootleg for Jalen Hurts like everyone else in the league, but you didn't. You ran the tush push, and I get why you did, but you can understand why the rest of us could put an asterisk on this. Like, yes, they were a great team, but they also had the tush push, which I, again, will assume will get banned soon.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to put it out. I don't think Eagles fans are going to care really at all, because that's definitely not the real narrative of that. They had a great defense and a great offensive line, and they had, honestly, the story of the 2024 Eagles will be Saquon Barkley, for sure. I think that would be a major stretch to put an asterisk on it. And honestly, you could, it would not affect the way the Eagles fans feel about the team at all.
That's fine. Yeah. And Eagle fans, no one's ever going to take that Super Bowl away from you. But when you start talking about all-time great teams, or if you start talking about dominant teams, because you are the team that took out the Chiefs. I know the Bucs also beat the Chiefs pretty soundly in the Super Bowl, but you made Patrick Mahomes in his absolute peak, prime, look very mortal. And may have been the first real cracks in the Chief dynasty. We don't know. We'll see how the season plays out. They're sitting there 0-2 with a big game against Manny's Giants Sunday night. So, if somehow the Chiefs go on a bit of a drought here, that Super Bowl is going to be looked at as the turning point and as the moment. So you think, not to bring up the Giants again, but like that Giants 07 team that stopped Tom Brady's undefeated season. That team's remembered not as an all-time great team, but has a place in history because of what they did. That Eagles team, this could go down as one of the big teams in NFL history if the Chiefs go on a drought of 10 years.
That analogy I don't buy at all. Comparing the 2024 Eagles to the Giants team that beat the Patriots, there's no similarity. First of all, the Eagles they were a great team. They were 14-3. The Giants stuck in as a wild card and were 2-touchdown underdogs.
It's about your opponent. I'm saying the opponent, you are not the dynasty right now. The Chiefs are the dynasty, and you may have stopped it, just like the Giants. The teams aren't the same as far as talent, but that Giants team in 07 stood in the middle of the railroad tracks as an undefeated Tom Brady, Randy Moss season was coming down the pike.
Right, and that was like Villanova beating Georgetown. This was like North Carolina beating Georgetown. The Eagles didn't Chiefs had just played neck and neck 2 years before the Super Bowl. It doesn't feel at all like that to me. And I don't think people are going to judge that 2024 Eagles team because of the Chiefs. Because the honest thing is the Eagles are a Super Bowl favorite this year. I think people are going to be almost disappointed if they don't win this year. Right? This is a good team. And by the way, all the guys who left the Eagles last year after the Super Bowl team, they're all awesome everywhere else. Like that team was loaded. Milton Williams had the game winner. Josh Sweat looks good. Who's the other guy? Bryce Huff had a game-winning sack. Like that Eagles team was stacked last year. I think history, because I know Bill Barnwell at ESPN, their analytics guy, said like historically this is an all-time team. And I do not think that.
You don't think the tush push is going to be remembered more than that?
It might be called the tush push team, but I don't think people are going to downgrade the team. Honestly, I think that people are going to go back and say Saquon Barkley had a year. I mean, 2,000 yards, probably if he played, could have challenged the all-time record. I really don't think that that is, it might be associated, but like an asterisk would just feel weird. People would be like, I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
EJ, throw it up on the poll. Will the Eagles' success have an asterisk due to the tush push? Now, the reason why I bring in the asterisk part is because, and again, this is a little bit of a leap.
That's absolute rubbish, man.
But we think that the tush push is going to get banned in the very near future. So it's kind of like when we, 10, 15 years from now, we talk about this team, they would have been winning with a play that is now illegal, right? That's kind of the idea behind this.
Right. But obviously they've changed the rules every year forever. So every team won with a rule that's now illegal. Like there's a million different rules.
Right. And I'm saying sometimes we bring those up, We do sometimes bring up the fact that the NFL is different from, like, we do bring up the fact that the Cowboys were able to stack a lot of talent because there was no salary cap. Ditto the 49ers.
Actually, when I brought that up during the documentary, like, everyone's like, wait, what are you talking about? I don't think we bring that up generally.
I sit next to you. You bring it up.
Who are the, give me, seriously, like, we're smart people. We're all football fans.
You love putting asterisks on Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I mean,
Peyton Manning. You will not give Peyton Manning credit for the second Super Bowl that he literally started and won the game.
But I give the Broncos credit.
Okay.
I mean, Peyton Manning was at that Super Bowl. Yeah, he was in attendance. But obviously, Peyton Manning had nothing. He threw 9 touchdowns and 17 picks that season.
Who started the Super Bowl for the Denver Broncos in 2015?
Peyton Manning.
Right. He won. He gets credit for winning. He wasn't MVP.
But it's not part of his legacy. He got benched. If you're going to do that, he got benched for Brock Osweiler during the season. Peyton Manning. Tom Brady never got benched for Jacoby Brissett.
I do feel like it's not necessarily, we don't necessarily lessen the legacy of these teams, but I do think we talk about the Patriots in the early 2000s being able to beat the crap out of the receivers when they played the Colts in the snow and how the rules changed where you couldn't be so physical on the outside. And we also talk about the 70s. You talked about the salary cap. I was thinking about, same thing, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers would just bludgeon receivers and just tackle them on the line of scrimmage, and you couldn't get off the line of scrimmage.
But all the teams could do that, and all the teams did do that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just think that I'm saying it's mentioned. I don't think it's something that we completely ignore. And then I think Spygate, I think the whole Patriot thing
the one
has
is
a whole cloud.
Deflategate and Spygate. Deflategate and Bountygate. That's the other one. The gates, you might put an asterisk.
Pushgate.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that if you really go to put an asterisk, how about the fact that the Saints were going after Brett Favre's knees on every single play? Like that, you might asterisk. But even that's like one of the great all-time NFL stories. That's one of the most celebrated Super Bowls of all time. And half the team got fined and banned right afterwards. I don't think you asterisk NFL. There's just too much going on. But if you want to put an asterisk, if that would make you feel better, you could definitely do it.
No, I just think that we've reached maximum capacity here with the tush push.
That might be true.
I think that the tipping point came in that game against the Chiefs. And again, I think it's because the argument for keeping the tush push was if you hate it so much, go out and stop it. And then when you watch the referees miss those false starts and not be able to officiate this play, you're like, well, if the refs can't officiate when there's a penalty on the play and they're just allowed to run it at will, it no longer seems fair. It doesn't seem like you can just go say, well, if you're so worried about it, stop it. It's like, well, actually, the Chiefs were stopping it. The Eagles were first starting, and they were not getting flagged.
But by the way, the officials miss calls all over the place.
I don't know. It takes us off constantly.
They call false starts on the tush push all the time as well. Like they've called that a million times. I don't know why they missed it.
But this felt...
They called a false start on the other team earlier in the game.
The Chiefs?
Yeah, they called offsides on the Chiefs because Chris Jones' helmet was in the neutral zone.
I don't feel like the Eagles get penalized a lot.
No, they started last year. They started calling false starts on them, and they're trying to clean that play up. I don't know how they missed the last one. You could see on the TV copy the guy was about a foot over the line. But that being said, other teams are doing it now. Did you guys see Clemson do it this weekend?
Yeah.
And obviously Kellen Moore's doing it with the Saints. Like, everybody has access to it. Go ahead, do it if it's so easy.
It's not. That's a thing. It's not just a one-size-fits-all thing. It's just not. Not everyone has a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds.
Right. So in that sense, like, you get credit for that. And by the way, you take it away. Like, Jalen Hurts is, as you've said many times, he's still going to get it 85% of the time on sneaks.
See, that's what I don't understand, because Jason Kelsey talks about the tush push like it's a near-death experience every time he would run it. So why did he do it if your offensive line hates it so much?
That's so true.
I think that's starting to become nonsense. Like, the fact that he keeps saying that, but then they look fine doing it. It just feels like part of the narrative for the Eagles to keep the play in play is to say, listen, I know
So
you guys
hard.
think it's so
Yeah.
easy, but you don't know the physical toll that goes through. Yet you run it 6 times a game, and you get it every time. It doesn't look that hard to me.
Yeah. It's just a sneak. The other thing, too, is now you notice because of the tush push, when teams fail on quarterback sneaks, you're like, well, why didn't they push that guy? Did you see when the Bears tried a quarterback sneak from like a yard and a half away, and they didn't come within 3 feet of
They
the
did
first
it
time.
twice.
Yeah.
They did third down and fourth down, and they missed on both.
And I don't think they were pushing it. Like,
No, just QB sneaking.
yeah, it's I watch other teams. I'm like, why aren't you pushing that guy's in the butt? Don't cut that.
888-710-4ISN. Should there be an asterisk on this current version of the Eagles' success because of the tush push, which we believe will be banned pretty soon?
This discourse is all the more reason why you should go on our poll on Twitter and vote for Jalen Hurts for the Great Debate Series today.
Manny, you openly campaigning to win this is beneath you. You could just go there and vote.
I did already.
For our great debate question today, which is, who is the greatest college football transfer of all time? Manny did pick Jalen Hurts, and Manny's on a bit of a heater.
I'm hot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know the results, but I can tell you right now, this has got to be a Joe Burrow Cam Newton battle.
I know the results.
It's got to be Cam. Is it Cam or Joe? It's got to be one of those two.
It's not results yet because it's not finalized.
You got 24 hours.
Okay, 30% of the precincts reporting.
What do you got?
Joe Burrow's at 60%.
Damn.
Yeah, dude threw 60 touchdowns and won the title. You guys have who else won the title? Cam. That's it.
Cam Newton is at 23%. Jalen Hurts is at 15%, and Baker Mayfield at 1.4%.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl, so remember that.
Yeah, by the way, Jalen Hurts was a terrible pick, by the way. Why'd you go Kyler Murray?
No comment.
Because of the Super Bowl. Also, while you're there at Maggie and Pearl on X,
You really stumped me on that one.
Is Jim Harbaugh a phony? No, trending at 65%.
What?
Ha. He's a character, guys. A character, which is why I should have won that poll last week.
Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go.
Well, that's Dabo. We're talking about Jim Harbaugh.
By the way, did you see the other poll? What was the Tom Brady poll?
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady poll we had, which was, or do you have a problem with him being a broadcaster and being heavily involved with the Raiders as a minority owner?
And I said it would be 60-40.
Yeah, right now we're at 64% to 35%.
You should host a show, Perloff.
I'm good at predicting polls. I could work for Quinnipiac.
Oh, I don't think you want that.
That'd be annoying. People would hang up on you a lot.
I don't know how anybody in this day and age answers a poll question, like a political poll.
No, it seems like these polls sometimes are off.
Hey, Andrew Perloff, poll surveyor here, Quinnipiac.
I remember the last time I had a landline, Quinnipiac used to call me all the time, but I also had caller ID.
It was Quinnipiac,
It literally came up as Quinnipiac.
That's the most famous poll, right?
I think there's also a Siena poll.
Yeah, that's a big one, too.
What is it with these MAC schools with all these polls?
It's all the MAC schools.
Siena? Oh, man.
It's got to be...
Iona's slipping.
Yeah, I was going to say Manhattan College Jaspers. Call
Get
you
it together, guys.
But it's Canisius.
Canisius. Is Niagara one?
Niagara is,
Niagara.
Oh, yeah.
Name your MAC schools. St. Francis of somewhere.
Yes,
there's also the Gallup poll.
Gallup poll's big.
But I Googled what is the most famous political poll of all time.
What conference did they play?
Quinnipiac came up as number one.
Definitely. I know a guy who played at Quinnipiac. Shout out to Brian Geffen, St. Francis Prep grad. Good player.
What sport?
Basketball.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, point guard. Eventually transferred to Holy Cross. So he could have been the greatest.
How do you have time to practice? How do you have time to practice when he's out there asking people who they're voting for?
Well, you see, like it's kind of like the Navy Academy, right? Like you got to do your service.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, right.
Like this was part of his service. Was that he took some phone calls before practices,
Calling up some old ladies. Who are you voting for? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, lots more to do, including what has me a bit nervous about tomorrow. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie Perloff. This Thursday Night Football preview is sponsored by Square. More than 4 million neighborhood businesses run on Square. To learn more, go to square.com or just stop by your favorite local business. See you in the neighborhood. Square.
That was a triangle, Pearl.
Can I get my fears out about this Thursday night preview? My Buffalo Bills going up against the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is an 11.5 point spread.
If you have fears about this one, you should be talking to a professional, not to us.
I do.
If there's a single NFL game not to be afraid of, it is this one.
Okay, so this has all the makings of a Buffalo Bills romp, right? The Miami Dolphins defense has been just downright terrible through these first 2 games. They barely showed up to play against the Colts. Against the Patriots, they showed a little bit more fight, but the defense still is very, very suspect, and Josh Allen could really feast here. Like, you could tell me he'll throw 5 touchdowns in this game, and I may believe you. Now, here's where there's just a seed of doubt in the back of my head as a Bills fan. This is the season for Miami. This is it. You know, if they're going to show any fight, this is a complete no one believes in us game. On TV, everyone's going to be picking the Bills. It's going to be one of those memes. If Miami somehow pulls an upset, nobody picked us to win this game. It's kind of like a last stand, whereas the Bills, short week, just like Miami, Josh Allen's nose is broken. He's got to play with a visor most likely now, and that could take a little getting used to. So could the Bills be overlooking them? You know, could this be a tough spot where Josh has to adjust to the new helmet? There is a little bit of doubt because Miami is in desperation mode, and that's it.
Yeah, you're crazy. There's no way Miami's winning this game. Cut that and play it on Monday morning if I'm wrong, or Friday morning, sorry. Yeah, I mean, when's the last time this Miami team even beat the Bills?
A couple of years ago down in Miami when it was about 100 degrees. The Bills had to run 70 plays or something, and Josh Allen almost died on the field.
Yeah, I mean, and the Dolphins have been a pretty good team the last few years, and they couldn't beat them when they were a good team. How are they going to beat them now that they're awful?
Well, see,
in Buffalo on a short week.
It's a tough assignment.
After playing a long game on Sunday where they had to play like real 60 minutes.
There's a possibility that the Bills put the stake in the Dolphins season, or at least in Mike McDaniel's Dolphins career. I mean, there's a real legitimate possibility that if they lose this game badly in Buffalo, which again, they're a massive underdog, where the team just straight up fires Mike McDaniel to try to salvage the season with a new coach.
And was there any indication on Sunday on the Miami defense, which was really a do-or-die game for Mike McDaniel, that they were fired up? I mean, New England's not great offensively. They were doing whatever they wanted. I mean, come on. There's no, if you're not confident about this game, or you are confident, but if you can't see a game where there's no reason to be nervous in this one, then you will never see a game where there's no reason to be nervous. You could be facing a 5th-string high school quarterback and you would be nervous because there's no reason to think that the Dolphins can win this game. None. 0.0. And I know it's sports and you're not supposed to say that, but I'm saying it.
This is the whole thing. You should pick the Bills for your survivor pool then.
Of course I would pick. I don't want to waste the Bills, but yeah, everybody. I should. Yeah, no duh.
All right. Yeah. I just feel like this is why they play the games.
I mean, listen. This is why you listen to Maggie Perloff. You should take the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins for your survival. Yeah, me and everybody else. They're 12-point favorites.
I'm just thinking, put your money where your mouth is. What I'm essentially saying there.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I would gladly take the money line on the Bills if it wasn't like minus 9,000. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you have to admit, like, this should be the easiest game of the season for the Bills because it's Miami coming to Buffalo on a short week. Just by the logistics of that.
Yeah, but despite what you think, in Buffalo in September, it's not snowing. I know that's a rumor out there. It is not snowing yet. Yeah. It's going to be balmy there.
Late October. Late October is when the snow
got about
starts.
a month before the first frost.
But you were a bit nervous about the Jets game, right?
I was, and I was actually kind of disappointed as this went on in the Jets because the blueprint's there. Like, you could also tell me that Devon Achane might run for 200 yards in this game. Like, the Bills could not stop the run against Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, not the same thing. I get it. But the Bills certainly have an Achilles heel in their defense, and I was surprised that the Jets did try to exploit that more.
Trubisky's a backup, right?
Yep.
They should start playing him.
I know.
Save Josh Allen.
They should, but they don't do that. They have this weird thing about keeping Josh into the bitter end. Now, Trubisky did get in eventually with the Jets, but way too late.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to have, because of where the AFC East is, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to rest Josh Allen. Like, honestly, because I'm just thinking fast forward to the divisional round. Like, that's when the season starts for Buffalo, if they stay healthy. But we've seen some snake-bitten stuff happen to them. They really just get to protect Josh at all costs.
So that's the Thursday night game, and it's sponsored, the preview, sponsored by Square. So thank you, Square. Perloff, you said there might be some breaking news.
Have you seen it yet? Do you know what it is?
I was waiting so you could surprise me.
EJ has. Do you think if I gave hints, Maggie could guess the nature of this breaking news? It's NFL news.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
It involves a former Bill.
Okay.
Okay.
That I'm not going to get it on that alone.
It involves a player who is currently in the AFC East.
Okay.
It involves.
Oh, Stephon Diggs. Something happened with Diggs.
Yes.
Am I close?
You're right.
Are he and Cardi B getting married?
Close. What's the other possibility?
They're having a baby.
Bingo! I knew I could get Maggie there. 2 hints.
Wow.
In fact, I knew I could get you there.
This is a real castle.
Cardi B said on CBS this morning.
I thought they broke up.
I think they got back together, right?
Who knows with those two?
Congrats.
I wonder Marie Antoinette was getting old down here. There's real crocodiles in there.
Listen, you buy.
This is a real castle.
You take a woman to a castle. Things are going to get medieval. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see her throw a pen at a journalist last week? Did anybody see that?
No.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that was amazing. Cardi B is a national treasure.
Oh, is this at the trial?
Yeah.
Everything happening in that court trial thing has been hilarious. She's been changing wigs, and they're like,
great.
"Why is your hair different?" She's like, "Have you ever heard of a wig?"
Yeah.
She's the best.
She's quite unfiltered. I've started to notice.
Well, it's just that's supposed to be maybe a courtroom is probably supposed to be the most serious setting that we have in America.
Come on, it's Cardi B.
But like, what do you have? You have like a courtroom, an operating room. Like these are serious
sacred
places.
ground. I know what you
and
mean.
Cardi B's like basically it was an SNL skit.
If you didn't see this video of her throwing a pen, someone asked her a question. She goes, "Excuse me," for a moment, calmly walks over to where another journalist is, takes his pen, comes back and chucks it at the cameraman, and then starts cursing him out.
I think it was something. I think it was a question about her being pregnant too.
Was that what it was?
I think so. Now that I'm
so
thinking
the
about
trial, if I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I don't want to be careful here. She was pregnant at the time, and someone saying that she like assaulted them as like a security guard or something.
Yeah, that's
something
what
like I'm in the ballpark, right?
Yeah, it's an assault trial.
What happened? What was the verdict?
Cardi B had her little day in court, and she made fun of everybody.
Yeah, no, she.
I
called
don't
the
think
person.
that they've come out with a verdict yet. I think it's still happening.
Get out of here.
I mean, as of yesterday, they said Cardi B admits she fell asleep during the lawsuit trial.
Is she with? Maybe she's with Diggs to take the attention away from the trial.
This is not high level politics for a
That's quite a pull.
That is, but they are two characters. Because Diggs is funny too. I mean, he's wild.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I'd take Cardi B in a comedy show over Stephon Diggs.
Well, do you remember the quotes in the locker room? Who would you not set your sister up with? Like, I think Stephon Diggs is quite a character.
Yeah, she's having a kid with the rebound guy, which is always a little dicey. Stephon Diggs has like a reputation of kind of being the guy that dates these women after these high profile breakups.
Dates is very much quotation marks there.
Yeah, and now she's having a baby with him.
By the way, Cardi found not guilty in that civil case.
I'm just glad to know it's not going on still, because that's taxpayer dollars there.
I just feel like I've been seeing those news
old down here.
like still today, like it's still happening. So I assumed it was still happening.
Imagine being a jury sequestered or something in that kind of trial. Like, get me out of here.
There's real crocodiles in there.
I mean, to be honest, that'd be the best trial to be at. I mean, she was so funny. Again, she was treating like an SNL skit.
Yeah. Oh, somebody who had to be on a jury, to have Cardi B there would have been a huge attraction. Like, I would have stayed on an extra day just for that.
Remember when you were doing jury duty for a month?
Yeah,
that
grand
happened.
jury. Yeah, grand juries is no joke.
Let's get to Andrew Bogusch, who's got the headlines for us. Was that the lead of your...
It was not. Okay. Yeah, it was not. But this is, Maggie, you said more than once that you wish you thought of Indiana Jones for new Colts QB Daniel Jones. But does he actually like the new nickname? Kay Adams asked him that question on Up and Adams on FanDuel TV.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion on it.
Shocker.
I think...
it's your name!
I had some buddies in town this weekend. They were all about it. They had, bought some Indiana Jones T-shirts and stuff. So I guess they were excited about it. I don't really care, but it's always a nickname.
This dude is a wet napkin.
I don't care.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, give us a take or something.
No. I don't think that's possible.
Good Lord.
That was the thing about Eli. At least Eli was a little bit who Daniel Jones got compared to all the time. Like, Eli had a little charisma, right? A little riz.
Different. He had the little brother vibe going on.
Break down that touchdown. Can't hear. Never mind.
You know what's so funny about the way we do NFL narratives, by the way? Like, the Colts should have lost that game to the Broncos. That was a weird call. So they'd be 1-1 and nobody be hyping up Daniel Jones. But now, and same with Baker Mayfield could have easily lost with the Bucs. Now Baker Mayfield's like, these games come down to a coin toss, and then we decide who the players are based on that. Like, Daniel Jones hype would not be here if the Broncos had won that game, right?
No doubt.
So,
I think people would have said, oh, Miami stinks.
Yeah.
He won that first game, and then the second game, the Broncos beat him, not even remembering that it was like field goals and penalties and stuff like that.
Right. Would Kay even be interviewing him in this? No. So, it's funny how just like a little one bounce of the football here or there decides this massive narrative that decides what we're going to talk about that week. And Daniel Jones easily could be 1-1.
Do you think Daniel Jones is back?
Well, I kind of think he's going to be good here. I think he fits Shane Steichen really well. Good. Not like MVP level like he's been. Like, they haven't punted yet. Yeah. They've not punted the football in 2 games.
It's the year of our Lord 2025, and I put in a waiver claim yesterday for Daniel Jones. This is ridiculous.
How two-faced are you?
How?
This started with, shut up, dude, you're a wet noodle, and now he's going to be on your fantasy team?
Got that right, brother.
Have some principles.
My principles include about 15 points a game. That's all I need from Daniel Jones. Those are my principles.
Jones has the Titans this weekend, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I picked them up.
3-0, baby.
Sorry, Cam.
Who remembers this from Sunday?
Getting ready to boot it away is Myers, a low line drive kick. Gainwell and
Special
Johnson
teams.
as the ball bounces through the hands of Johnson and into the end zone. It's going to stay in the end zone. The Seahawks fall on it in the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown, Seahawks.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin remembers that Caleb Johnson let that kickoff roll into the end zone where the Seahawks fell on it for a gift TD. The Steeler head coach said yesterday Johnson has lost his job for now.
I'm certainly going to give him an opportunity to work his way back from that era. I believe in his talent. He's a sharp young man. He's a hard worker. And so you leave the light on for him. You give him an opportunity to move on from it.
The Steelers are in Foxborough this weekend. The New York Mets have won back-to-back games for the first time in 2 weeks, 8-3 over the Padres. So they remain a game and a half better than the Diamondbacks for the last NL wildcard. Arizona rallying past San Francisco last night, 6-5. Those Giants and the Reds are now 3 games behind the Mets. Meanwhile, losing in New York didn't hurt the Padres too much since the Dodgers took a 9-6 loss from the Phillies despite 5 no-hit innings and homer number 50 from Shohei. LA still leads the NL West by 2 games on San Diego. The Cubs have reduced their magic number for a playoff spot down to 1, winning in Pittsburgh 4-1. They got 3 of those runs off of Paul Skeens. Florida football and the SEC jointly suspending Gators running backs coach Jabbar Jalouk for 3 games for his role in those pregame shenanigans with LSU last weekend. We still don't know exactly what he did, but the joint statement said, quote, coaches are expected to be leaders and to de-escalate tense situations, and that did not happen in this circumstance. And finally, from me, the Las Vegas Aces' 17-game win streak ended with an 86-83 loss in Game 2 in Seattle. Skylar Diggins, 26 points, 7 assists for the Storm. So now a third and final game in Vegas tomorrow night. Guys, back to you.
I have a quick question before we break. Shohei Ohtani, 5-0. Is he going to win the MVP because of pitching? That's ridiculous. Him and Kyle Schwarber are neck and neck. But he's 1-1 as a pitcher this year. Has he really had a massive impact on the Dodgers as a pitcher? I ask you because I know you're sort of a Shohei pitching defender.
Yeah, as long as Shohei is pulling any kind of double duty, I think he will get the nod. People are so different. No offense to Kyle Schwarber. He's a great hitter. There's been a lot of great hitters in the history of Major League Baseball. This is very different.
But his pitching is having no impact on the season, though.
Well, is it? Just because his record is 1-1, how many starts has he made?
I mean, it's not having the Phillies are a significant number of games up on the Dodgers for the number 2 seed.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would vote for Schwarber, but I think the problem that I'd have with your argument is, yes, he has not been a truly front-line pitcher this year the way he has been in the past.
He was building him up forever.
But the fact is he's pitching at all at a serviceable level is what makes him amazing, but I don't think it makes him the MVP this year.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. Remember, they were building him up forever. He didn't get a lot of innings for a large chunk of the season.
Yeah, because they were building him up, and then it would pull back a little bit. Remember, Dave Roberts was all cagey about it and weird because nobody can tell Shohei nothing.
That's why I'm saying
he decides everything.
That's why I'm saying this is not the year to give him that pitching nudge because it's only been a partial pitching year. That would be my argument. But it seems like he's the Vegas favorite, so I could be wrong.
Any type of pitching, Maggie? What if he were a closer?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
All righty.
And I think he's going to actually maybe come out of the bullpen when it's the playoffs.
Don't look at me like that. They don't throw as many innings.
That'd be very hard, though.
Oh, can they do that structurally? Like, how does I don't know what his body would do.
It'd be hard because how are you going to warm up when you get him in there? It's very, very different. But
that'd be cool.
This is also why I think that Cal Raleigh should get the MVP over Aaron Judge.
Yeah. Oh, they got to give it to Cal Raleigh.
Well, not just because different type of story. Aaron Judge probably deserves it in terms of numbers. He's ahead of Cal Raleigh in terms of all the advanced statistics, but Cal Raleigh's doing it as a catcher.
And also too, you got to give it to. That's why I would give it to Schwarber. Give it to the new guy. Judge and Shohei have plenty of MVPs.
888-710-4ISN. See you guys on the phones. Ask you today, if Notre Dame wins out, will they get into the college football playoff? We'll get back to that next. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We were talking a lot about Notre Dame today and whether they should get into the college football playoff if they run the table. So they'd be 10-2 because they've obviously started the season 0-2. I say they will get in. Perloff says they will not. Chris is in Lexington, big Irish fan. What's up, Chris?
Oh, Maggie, great show as always. You know, just a quick little backstory. I'm 55 years old. I'm a Catholic kid from Pittsburgh, and so my following Notre Dame goes all the way back to the glory days of Lou Holtz.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I understood the pullback of not wanting to join a conference a while back. But now, no, because this is what my year comes down to every single year. I look at the schedule and I say, okay, what are the opportunities for us to impress? And you know as well as I do, the only reason we got in last year was when we beat Texas A&M. Especially after that embarrassing loss to Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, you knew Texas A&M was going to be ranked. I figured Miami would, didn't know where. And then maybe asterisk, you guys were talking about asterisk, with USC. And so now we're 0-2. You know, who knows what's going to happen with SC? I know they're ranked right now, but like you guys said very poetically, they still got a ways to go. Let's see where they're at the end of the year. As much as I love Notre Dame, Maggie, and I'm usually lockstep with you, and I want to be with you on this one, I don't know if Brand gets us in. I agree with you. I've been taking crap for this for years. The only reason you guys get the benefit of the doubt is because of the eyeballs. Well, eyeballs also equal dollar signs.
Yeah.
You know, but I just don't know. Even if we run the table, Maggie, if our brand is enough to get us in. I really don't.
Well, Chris, it's going to be a big test for the committee, and I think the committee generally, I would say, fails these tests at every turn. But I'm saying they do it by failing. What I mean is they will do what's best for the bottom line. Chris, thank you so much for the call and the compliments. Appreciate you listening. This is my first inclination that Notre Dame was going to be okay, even after losing to A&M. The fact they did not fall out of the top 25. You know, if they really want to send a message, then I think they would have dropped Notre Dame out. But now that they're clinging, ranked 24th, it just gives them opportunities for style points, other teams in front of them to drop down.
Yep.
And the fact they'll say, well, Notre Dame lost to both of these really good teams by 4 points combined.
I mean, what has Notre Dame really gotten the benefit of the doubt? I'm trying to think. This is their first, in the current format, it was first year. They never made the 14 playoff, right?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, it's the national championship.
Yep.
Which one?
No, well, that was Alabama. They made the other one and lost in the semifinal.
Brian Kelly lost to Alabama.
Yep.
Right, in 2012.
And again in the semifinal.
Yep. Later.
Oh, what year was that?
Look it up.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought they hadn't been in the playoff other than the when Manti Te'o. They
made the 14 playoff.
Oh, sorry. I totally apologize. But generally, though, like there haven't been a lot of situations where it's been like Notre Dame versus Alabama or anything. So we don't really know how they would go up against a big SEC brand. I mean, last year it wasn't that controversial. Like they got in, it wasn't that big a deal, was it? I mean,
no, but I'm just saying you're right. This is going to be a test. They did lose to Northern Illinois last year, but they beat A&M on the road. You wanted to say something about Patrick Mahomes before we say goodbye today.
Oh, yeah. He turns 30 today. He's ahead of Tom Brady.
In what sense?
When they were both 30. Like, there's no doubt he has had a better career up to age 30 than Tom Brady.
Both had 3 Super Bowls, right?
Right, but, and I didn't remember this. Mahomes had 3 Super Bowl MVPs. Brady only had 2. Can you name the other one?
Yeah, yes. Oh, no. It's not Deion
Bridge. It's Deion Bridge.
It was Deion Bridge.
Mahomes has way more playoff wins. He has more All-Pros, way more yards, way more everything. Of course, Brady started off slow. So this is a courtesy of Athlon. They have all the stats here.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. Like, Mahomes has definitely had a better start. The question is, can he have that second act that Tom Brady had? I'm not so sure. Because that Tom Brady thing, we did not expect Tom Brady to really take off post-30 the way he did.
Yeah, the post-Travis Kelce act. Well,
yeah,
I guess here's the question. Do you think Andy Reid's going to stay around for the next decade?
Reid's 67, maybe, but not much longer than a decade. I think Brady's probably his best year was 2007 when he threw 50 touchdowns and they lost. I just think this could be hard because, 4 after 30. It's incredible. Tom Brady, when you look at where he is and where he ended up, it's a long, long way to go. I don't think Mahomes is going to catch him.
Yeah, I mean, and also what Brady did then by leaving the organization, going to a different one, winning right away. I think there's too much ground to gain for Mahomes. But here's the thing where Mahomes will have our argument. If you just looked at like who's the more talented quarterback, if you're going by not like wins necessarily or Super Bowls, if you're just going by talent, I think some people believe Mahomes is already better than him.
Oh, definitely more talented.
Yeah.
I mean, and I see what you're saying. Like his rushing yards are obviously. Mahomes has 2,400, where Tom Brady had 430.
Yeah, it's a little different.
And Mahomes had all the arm angles and all that stuff. But I don't know if that's gonna be enough. You're right though. That Tampa Bay Super Bowl kind of put the GOAT debate out of reach. I think that makes it really, really hard to top Tom Brady. I mean, because listen, Mahomes. The other thing too is he's got Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
Hasn't meant anything yet.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
His biggest issue was first Tom Brady, who beat him in the AFC Championship game, then beat him in a Super Bowl.
But Mahomes, unlike Brady, Mahomes needs his legs. Will his physical style wear on him more in his 30s than Brady, who was a pocket guy?
You're absolutely right about that. But don't you think the Brady beating him head-to-head, even though Brady was at the end and Mahomes was at the beginning, should that end the debate? Like, they literally played against each other.
I don't know. Mahomes... under a lot of pressure that game.
That is true. His offensive line was basically a sieve.
Well, happy birthday, Pat, by the way.
I know. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan. 888-710-4ISN is the number to call Bill Ryder if you're into that. We love you, Bill. We got to go. Weedo's Coffee Drinkers, we'll see you tomorrow. Maggie Perloff.